What's going on, people? Welcome to another Emotion Football live stream. My name is Alam. Today we got a watch along for Lions Texans. We got a recap of Week 10, and it's gonna be a good stream, people. Shout out to everybody watching live. 6 people tapped in right now. To the 6 people watching, and anybody who might watch this after the fact, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The broadcast is showing Nico Collins, who unfortunately will not be playing. The state of the Texans suggests to me that this game might be a blowout. And that definitely sucks, but it is what it is. We got a bunch of things we can do. We're about to talk about the games this week. We might predict the entire season if need be. And yeah, potentially this game might be competitive. Shout out to my guy King in the chat. The Bear season is over, but I will say that when in week 14, when the Eagles play the Steelers, we will not be friends. But today, I feel like a Steeler. What you guys did for me going into Washington, handing them an L, and beating up on them for 60 minutes, 4 days before they have to come to Philadelphia, I'm eternally grateful. And today, I feel like a Steeler. That much I will say. But yeah, that was a crazy game. We'll get into that game for sure. This game is about to kick off. It looks like the Lions are going to start out with the ball. I expect this game to be not fun. Yeah, I expect this game to not be fun. Houston hasn't been playing well. They need Nico Collins. They won't get Nico Collins. Essentially, the same team that lost to the Jets last week is playing this week against the Lions. So I expect this to be a blowout. But I am here. What I will say is that I am here to do it with the Texans. Every time they hit this shit for the first down, I'm ready to hit it with them. That shit is fire. And obviously, I want the Texans to win this game. So shout out to Jared Brown. I don't know where he is right now, but today, right now, I hope to feel like a Houston Texan. Texans kickoff. Lions take a knee. The red helmets, red uniforms are looking good so far. Without really looking at details, they don't look too different to the last red uniforms, but it is what it is. We're gonna enjoy it. Shout out to Gail. Good to hear from you. Packers had a bye week. Got to watch the Vikings kind of struggle against Jacksonville. We'll talk about that game, but Jacksonville is such a funny team. Actually, a hilarious franchise. Got to watch the Bears basically get their season ended. Jared Goff, what the hell was that? What the hell did I just watch Jared Goff do? Did the ball just slip out of his hand? That was not good. I hate Denver. They had one job. Oh my God. The way I was like, for that last kick with 1 second to go, the way I was thinking when it happened was like, look, what could go wrong? Like, Will Lutz is a good kicker. And my thought about the block was that, like, it's way too short of a kick to get blocked in the line. I thought for it to get blocked, they would have to come around the edges. So I was watching the edges when that field goal was being kicked. Amon-Ra on third down gets the first down. Yeah, so I was watching the edges. And when I saw that the edges weren't going to get it, I was like, okay, awesome, game over. And little did I know, somehow, some way, a 30-something yard kick gets blocked up the middle. That's crazy. The Chiefs really look like a team of destiny. Like, I watched that game and I thought, what a time to not be a good team. Because if you have a Super Bowl caliber team right now, I feel bad for you. Really seems like the Chiefs have some type of a team of destiny shit going on. They had it, then they didn't. Yep. Oh, you're like a player or two ahead. Okay. Yeah, they're lining the ball up to at the 41. The refs just placed the ball at the 41 on my version of the game. It's the 46. Never mind. 2nd and 6 coming up. Jared Goff, play action. Oh, Texans defense saw this one coming. Flag on the play. Surely this is against Detroit. Jameson Williams gets the ball. A man that has been heavily criticized for the last couple weeks. Yeah, I was like reasoning with myself that like what do I make of the fact that Bo Nix is about to hand Patrick Mahomes his first L this year? And then all of a sudden I didn't have to reason with myself about it, but illegal man or yeah. That's too far up the field. But yeah, the Texans defense read that play perfectly. There was somebody in the passing lane. There was somebody who anticipated the receiver screen going for JMO. 2nd and 11. Big first drive because, it's tipped and it's picked. Let's go, Houston. 2nd play in a row. I was just talking about it. The Texans defense was ready for that last play. When Goff did the play action, there was a pass rusher in the passing lane, right between Goff and the receiver. And then when he passed it to the receiver, there was somebody closing in on the receiver already. On this play, talk about a copy paste the exact same situation. There's a Texan jumping into the passing lane, and there's another Texan closing down on Jahmyr Gibbs. This time the ball's batted in the air and caught. Hell of a play by Jalen Petrie. And Houston starts off with a short field. Let's go. Again, I don't know where Jared Brown is, but I'm a big Texans fan right now. I'm so ready to do their first down too. Their first down thing. Because if you notice, a lot of players celebrate first downs, but when the Texans do it, the whole team hits that same thing. And I love it. I saw an offensive line doing it with Tank Dell on Thursday. I love stuff like that. Second and 8. Stroud under center, takes the snap. It's a toss to the right to Mixon. And the Lions run defense, who has been questioned by many people, comes up big there. Absolutely no gaps for Mixon to run through. Brian Branch making a tackle, who, is in the game this week. Brian Branch was thrown out of the game against Green Bay. This time he looks like he was in that star position. And yeah, the Lions, it was a pack of Lions getting out to the edge there. Third and 10 for Houston. No yards after the big play. But on third down, let's do it. Tank Dell picks up 15 yards ish, maybe 13 on third down. It looks like he's in motion. Shout out my channel. The DB I think they got him switched. They got him switched on to Amik Robertson, the slot corner. He was initially on the rookie, Terrion Arnold. But yeah, got the easier matchup, won the route on third down. Handoff to Mixon. Hey, what's up, Jared Brown? I'm a big Texans fan right now. I like the new helmets. I like the whole uniform. I'd love for you guys to hand Detroit the second loss. What would you rate the uniforms? It's a solid 9 out of 10. I like them a lot. Mixon bounces out. Don't run backwards. Don't run backwards. Gets them in 3rd and long again. So after the big play, after the interception, it's an opportunity for Houston to get things going. They find themselves in 3rd and 10 and now 3rd and 14. This is kind of what I feared would happen in this game in terms of just Detroit dominating. And obviously Detroit's offense didn't hold up their end of the bargain, but the early signs is that Detroit's defense is gonna have Houston's number. Somebody come get Aaron Glenn as a head coach, please. 3rd and 16 for Houston. At the 26, Stroud drops back, steps up. He slings it to, they left Mechie, and they get a first down. They get the yards to Mechie on 3rd down. I thought, look, I got to see which defender left Mechie there because he was basically just standing around, I want to say 6 yards. Yeah, it's a busted zone. So 2 defenders went with Tank Dell up the field. They're not showing the right angle, but there was a Mechie who kind of went 6 yards down the field, and then Tank Dell who ran probably 20 yards down the field, both on the left side. 2 defenders went with Tank Dell. Mechie was left completely open. A great job by Stroud finding him. Stroud throws it to the flat to a tight end. This is Stover, who's going to get 2-3 yards here on 1st and goal. Offense is struggling really bad lately. Yeah, the offensive line regressed quite a bit. Part of what made Houston so surprising last year is that they had a lot of offensive line injuries, but their offensive line was still playing well. So to see the offensive line healthy this year and not playing well, it's kind of like completely the opposite of what it was like last year. But yeah, obviously a tough situation for CJ Stroud because he's not benefiting from the pockets he had last year. And then the receivers, of course, they were supposed to stack the receiver spot this year. But now they've played the last 2 games with just Tank Dell. For what it's worth, though, last year all they had was Tank Dell and Nico, and Tank Dell was out for the year down the stretch. So it's interesting. It's not that they're working with much like different pieces offensively. You could argue that with Joe Mixon, they actually have a better offense on paper. Problem is that the results don't look the same because the offensive line is just playing like shit. So you're seeing CJ Stroud having to just run around back there to create some time for himself. Kind of a strange start to the year for Houston. I don't really know where they're going to go from here because, again, you have a good running back. You probably have to do what you can to keep the team together and try to add offensive linemen, but you'd hope you can get more out of these guys. Because, again, it's not like they had better offensive linemen last year. Joe Mixon gets the carry to the left, and he trucks the safety for a Texans touchdown. 7-0 Houston off the Detroit pick. And this game has gone about as good as it could. What I will say about Houston, absolutely phenomenal execution on 3rd downs. I would argue that a lot of what Houston didn't work aside from 3 plays. 3rd and 10, they got 12 yards to Tank Dell. 3rd and 16, they got 17 yards to Mechie. And then this play, they got the touchdown to Mixon. Aside from 3 plays, I actually think their offense struggled. But on 3 specific plays, when you needed it the most, you got big 3rd down conversions and a touchdown. So you got the turnover defensively. You got enough offense. And this is about as good of a start as you could hope for from Houston. John Christian Fairbairn knocks through the extra point. And we're here. Are we all in for the Texans win? Brother, yes. Yes. 100%. If there's anything I could do to help them win, I would. Flacco tanking again. For fuck's sake, AR5 dropped for nothing. Yeah, that quarterback situation looks debilitating for that franchise. That I still maintain that team is not that bad, but that quarterback situation is just detrimental. The 2 picks to start the game for Flacco, you could argue that that's what lost them the game, because Buffalo could just be in cruise control for the rest of the game. I don't think Buffalo played the best game, but they also didn't need to. No, LOL, we are trash. CMC had a great game today, 107 yards on CMC's return. Yeah, he had a great day catching the ball. I think the rushing attack was a bit underwhelming, but he was passing the shit out of that ball. I mean, he was catching the shit out of that ball. Oh, yeah, and then you guys turned over Josh Allen, too, because he only had 1 interception before today. Like I said, I thought your defense did okay. Considering they got the turnovers, considering that Flacco set the other team up, right? The Colts defense only gave up 23, and 3 of those were on off a turnover. So, giving up 20 points to the Bills is pretty respectable. The offense outside of the first 2 drives was respectable. Like, you just can't turn it over like that. I was actually talking about this with Joel, I think, during the basketball stream I did yesterday. But mistakes in football, sometimes, like a lot of the times, mistakes create more bad than like individual good plays create good. So like if you look at Joe Flacco, right, like he had 2 really bad mistakes to start the game. An argument could be made he had a pretty solid game after that, but the 2 mistakes generated so much bad, it really evens out so much of the good you did, even though that there was a higher volume of good plays. In terms of how you contributed to winning or losing, it evens out because of how bad the first 2 mistakes are. That's why quarterbacks that really don't make mistakes, there is a value in that. Sometimes we'll look at quarterbacks that don't make a lot of mistakes but don't do a lot of good and say like, oh, that guy's shit. And it's like, well, a shit quarterback is one that makes a lot of mistakes. That player's not shit. They're just not good, like particularly good. They're below average or average, but yeah, no, it's just avoiding mistakes is crucial at the quarterback position, man. Look at the Lions right here. I feel like I can say this because I said the same thing about Hurts a couple times last year. As a quarterback, when you throw the ball right into a lineman, or not even a lineman, but right into somebody that's right in front of you, I don't think that that's like an accident or a mistake. If you look at Goff's interception here, he sees the guy that tips the ball. He's staring right at the guy who tips the ball as he's throwing the ball. And it's your job to get it over that guy. That's a mistake by Goff, right? And this mistake by Goff, we'll see what happens for the rest of this game. But, if the Texans go on to win this game, you could say that that's a huge, huge factor. The fact that you let Houston get off to a hot start, the fact that Houston gets the ball to start the second half, but basically the way this game went, it's like they started both halves with the ball. So, yeah, mistakes are bad. Gus Bradley has to be sacked. Yeah, you've been saying that. Those damn Chiefs again, man. Those damn Chiefs again. Jared Goff drops back, takes a shot. He's hit as he throws it. The ball is short, and it's almost picked off. I feel like I can understand the decision there because Jameson Williams was there. But the problem for Goff there is his hand was hit as he threw the ball, so the ball was a little bit short. And Derek Stingley had a great chance to get a pick there. Good coverage by Stingley in terms of what his responsibility was, but I feel like there was supposed to be safety help over the top. He was playing that like there was supposed to be safety help, and the safety wasn't in the right position. But yeah, a good, really great job by that Texans defensive lineman, whoever got to Goff, because I think they may have just saved a touchdown. 3rd and 10. The play is blown dead. Flacco must have betted the over the Bills in turnovers. Yeah, Flacco had a parlay going for sure. Lions delay of game here puts them in 3rd and 15. He was playing for the Bills today. I was gonna go to this game, but tickets were like $3K. Damn. Okay. That's crazy. So I actually was thinking about going to Chiefs Bills next week, but I'm gonna base it off this. If I can get cheap last minute tickets on like Saturday night or even Sunday morning, I'll go. If not, I'm not going. But I know some of my friends were kind of wondering if we can make a quick day trip to Buffalo for that. It's not a long drive. It's about an hour, 20 minutes. But I'm only interested if the price is right. And honestly, because it's the Chiefs and the Bills, they're probably not going to be. Oh yeah. This is not going to be a game. The Texans are going to blow the Cowboys out. If what I saw from Dallas today is what we're going to get for the rest of the year, because boy, Dallas looked bad. Okay, Texans punt returner catches the ball with a head of steam, gets out to about the 45. Texans with back-to-back drives with good field positioning. Man, let's go. Let's go, Houston. Man, let's get this 14-point lead. So yeah, guys, next week, if I don't go to Bills Chiefs, then we'll have Sunday Night Football and no Monday Night Football stream. However, if I do go to that game, then we'll have Monday Night Football. We'll have Texans Cowboys as the recap stream, and that's just how we'll do it. But we can get into our first game game recap. We got Eagles Cowboys. This game was a blowout. Yeah, Jared, I do believe it's in Dallas. Oh, Rams Dolphins? Nah, I'm not doing Rams Dolphins. But yeah, Eagles Cowboys. So when I did the preview for this game, I said that the Eagles better win by like 2 scores or more. And the reason I said that is kind of what we saw today, is because the Eagles, to be honest, they had their stumbles in the second quarter. And even with that being the case, they won by 28. And that's just the nature of how lopsided this matchup was. Dallas obviously have the big injury with Dak, but they have other injuries as well. And the Eagles seems to have found some things out. But defensively, they pitched a shutout. It was an unreal game defensively. Even despite the fact that Cooper Rush was the quarterback, I think we held the Cowboys to 36 net passing yards in a blowout too. So there was garbage time and they were throwing the ball. But defense pitched a shutout. Offense, to be honest, they kind of had a disappointing game. All things considered, I think they could have played better. But the main thing is we got out of this game healthy. Hurts had a couple turnovers, held on to the ball for too long. That's one thing that kind of was disappointing to see. And it kind of reiterates the point with the Eagles, which is they just are their own worst enemies. Like, I don't think Dallas did anything to slow us up in that second quarter. I think the Eagles just did things to themselves. And that's the big thing to watch with Philadelphia. Can they just stay out of their own way? Because if they do, they're a very good team. But when they get in their own way, yeah, it's possible for them to play down to teams. And that's what we did in the second quarter. We played down to that team, and it was a 7-6 game at some point. And that's not good. For real. Fuck a blow. That's belt to ass. And I did say it on the basketball stream I did yesterday on my basketball channel that Philadelphia was headed to Dallas with a whole lot of belts, with black belts, yellow belts, leather belts, title belts, all kinds of belts. It was a mass migration of belts from Philadelphia to Dallas this past weekend. What's good, Leon? Yo, why you guys actually did the Bears so dirty? Did the Bears so dirty as a tanking team to beat a team that's not supposed to be tanking? And basically, here's the funny thing about the Patriots, right? The Patriots have 3 wins, but low key, like 2 of their wins actually put a couple team season in the dirt. They put the Jets season in the dirt, and they put the Bears season in the dirt. The Patriots, aka the Grim Reapers. You know that meme of the Grim Reaper going door to door? That's what the Patriots have been on low key this year, which is hilarious. But if you think about it, they beat Cincinnati and has Cincinnati shitting their pants about, oh, okay, like, are we ass? They beat the Jets, had the Jets in a crisis. They beat the Bears and have the Bears in a crisis. Yo, the Patriots have had a hilarious tank. For what it's worth, I think they win max 4 games this year. They're not going to win games like that. But look, if you show up and you're a mess, Gerard Mayo will make you feel like you need to reconsider your life choices. Because, man, he's had a lot of teams reflecting this year. At least the Washington. Yo, I was so thrilled with how that game ended. The fact that Washington played that physical of a football game all the way to the last play, with a short week against Philadelphia coming up, swing pass to Mixon on 2nd and 9, and Mixon has space. Mixon cuts it the other way. Mixon has space. Get in the end zone. Fuck, he's on my fantasy team. I needed that. Mixon. Oh, they did it. Mixon down at the 2-yard line. Get him the touchdown. But yeah, the fact that Washington did all that to jump off sides on 4th down, to lose the game after, again, playing a very contested physical game against Pittsburgh with a short week coming up, handoff to Mixon down at the 1. And Philadelphia, on the other hand, got a chance to rest in the 4th quarter against Dallas. Oh, I'm so ready for Thursday. I'm very ready for Thursday. Damn, holding on Houston. Shit, man. So besides Daniel, all of our teams won or were on a bye. Yeah, 100%. Even Jared's team is looking good right now. And if Joel shows up, he applies. Like as well, his team got a win. Daniel's really on the island this week, mixing up the middle. Yo, it's going to be a crazy mixing day. This much I can see already. Shit. So if Houston goes up 14-0, how does this game look? Because how long does Detroit stay committed to the run for? And then if they begin to pass, is this the first game this year that Detroit has been put in a position where they have to pass the ball? I believe so. Laramie Tunsil walks off the field here. Looks like he's okay. Like he might have to just miss a couple of snaps. Got rolled up on, but he seemed to be walking on that ankle pretty comfortably after the fact. I think we take the lead to halftime, then the Lions will pick it up. Thing is you guys start the second half with the ball too, though. So, like, man, if you guys can just get a touchdown here, that would be amazing. Stroud looks left out of the shotgun, comes back, floats it out to Mixon, and that's basically a glorified throwaway. We're going to have 3rd and long here. This will be 3rd and goal from like the 11. So the Texans are 2 for 2 on 3rd and longs. Converted a 3rd and 10 and a 3rd and 16 on the first drive. We'll see what they can figure out here. Also, what does this mean for the opponents Detroit faced when Houston is doing this? That's true. That's definitely true. I think for Houston, maybe you can say that because they were playing on Thursday, they have a bit of they've had a week and a half, but still, like, They're coming out like a team that knows they've been playing like shit and they know they need a big game. Stroud escapes to the left, tries to spin. Unfortunately, CJ, you are not that guy, pal. You are not that guy. Leon, great point. I was talking, I forget when I brought this up. I think it would have been when I did the previews. Quietly, Caleb is not supposed to go down like this. Caleb is not supposed to have this happen where you lose to Jaden and you lose to Drake May. And losing is one thing, but let's peel the layers back here and see what really happened. Against Jaden, he threw for 131, less than 50% completion percentage, 1 turnover, no touchdowns. That is horrible. It's not just that you lost, but you played horrible. Jaden, Hail Mary aside, yes, he got a Hail Mary, but he went for 320, completed most of his passes, got a touchdown, no turnovers. You lost, sure, but you also got outplayed. Against the Patriots, Caleb Williams, 16 for 30, barely over 50%, 120 yards, no touchdowns, no turnovers. Drake May completed more of his passes, 60% of his passes, 15 for 25, 184. Yes, he turned it over, but he also got a touchdown. And then you want to add to it the point you made about having the most weapons. He's out here underperforming. Not playing as well as his the fellow draft picks at the top of the draft, and he's doing it with more weapons. Caleb's having a disaster start to his career, and I still think that there's hope for him. I've left this year not thinking that Caleb is the reason we should worry about Caleb. I've left this year so far feeling like the Bears are the reason you should worry about Caleb. So that's my big issue. Against Mason. No, people saying May has no OL, no receivers. Fair. May has a very young supporting cast at the wide receiver position. 100%. Go Texans. I want these Lions lot to lose. I like the Lions. I want them to win a Super Bowl, but can't stand the fans like my friend who trashes and flip-flops with Goff. A Texans win would be a nice reality check. Well, welcome to the bandwagon. Genuel Bolandes. Yeah, I'm cheering for the Texans as well. Hell yeah. I want the Lions to lose because I want the 1 seed. But it is what it is. Shout out to your friend. I hope you get the right to do some shit talking. Who's your team? Yeah, you didn't mention it. I just wanted to read it again. What's your team? Let us know. But yeah, I hope you get to shit talk your friend. Flip-flopping on Goff, that's tough because I feel like, I don't know, Goff just is what he is. Like, he has demonstrated strengths and demonstrated weaknesses. I don't know what there is to flip-flop about. The Bears need to improve the O-line. Yeah, so they're going to get a good draft pick. And if I was the owner, I would tell the GM, yo, dude, you can clearly acquire talent, but if you don't draft offensive line at the top of this draft, you're getting fired. I would tell the GM, I will keep you, but you have to swear that you will draft an offensive line. And if you're not willing to do that, we got to get you the hell out of here. We're on a semi-rebuild. Chargers. Oh, hell yeah. You're a Chargers fan. Okay. I don't think I've had a Chargers fan in the chat before. Jembo, welcome to In Motion Football. You are now In Motion Football's official Chargers correspondent. We will come to you for all Chargers updates. How did you feel about the game today? They play on Sunday against the Bengals. I think that'll be an interesting game. But yeah, you guys are, I wouldn't even say rebuild. You guys are on a reload. You guys kind of shuffled the deck in terms of how you organize your assets. Clearly, when Harbaugh steps into a facility, he's thinking about the lines. And yeah, he got Joe Alt. Clearly, past regimes may have gone for a receiver. He said, nah, give me Control Alt Delete. And yeah, I think you guys are in good hands. What I can't stand more is him trashing Stafford as he did. Okay. You're pointing out the inconsistency. But yeah, man. I hope we both benefit today. Okay, Jahmyr Gibbs, let's go. Jahmyr Gibbs just keeps going backwards. It could have only been 3rd and 11 if he just like let his forward progress go. But he kept trying to make a play, runs backwards. It's going to be 3rd and 16. The Texans are flying right now. Okay. I'm going to revisit. What King said earlier about the Lions opponents and maybe think about it again. Okay, so the Lions have beat the Packers, the Titans, the Vikings, the Cowboys, Seahawks, Cardinals. Okay, my guy, you might be cooking because the Cardinals are one of the teams here that I respect, and they beat them by 7. Oh, shit. Jamison Williams, a big catch on 3rd and 16. Almost dropped it. No. Fair enough. Seahawks, I don't really respect like that. Cowboys, it is what it is. Vikings are solid. That was a good win by Detroit. Packers are, you know what? Like, I mean, they beat the Packers, Vikings, and Cardinals. Like, those are teams that, in hindsight, I think are solid. Poor Daniel, indeed. 1st and 10. Houston really has a feel for these quick passes to the flat because every time Goff throws to the flat, there's a Texan flying to the receiver. Do you find the OL plays bad this year? I find a lot of teams have bad offensive lines or underperforming offensive lines. Okay, so I hadn't really thought about it until you brought this up. I know I've heard a lot of people talking about how because they don't let you hit in practice anymore, the offensive line play it's hard for them to do anything until the season starts. Really, when you're allowed to hit, and even that, it happens in game. You're still not really allowed to hit in practice like that. So I definitely think if this is something you're noticing, that's the reason. In terms of what I've noticed, I watch a lot of Eagles games, so maybe it doesn't really resonate with me the same way, but it makes sense. Like Houston's line is bad, Detroit's line is great, but I watched Dallas's line today. They're bad. A lot of the line play is pretty shit. You're right. No, you're right. I can't take a lot from that win. It's at the Titans end of the day. We were playing against Meme Lord Levis. This is a good point. This is a very good point. I feel like with the Chargers, it's kind of been that way as well. Let me take a look at their schedule. So, my guy, Jen Will, I think this is probably your first time watching this channel because I haven't seen you in the chat before, or at least I don't recognize your name. But sometimes what we do on this channel is we pull up a season predictor when the games get boring and we just run through like an entire season prediction. And when we did this earlier in the year, at some point we realized that like, hey, the Chargers have a pretty favorable schedule and they're going to rack up a lot of wins. And here we are. The Chargers are 6-3. They play the Bengals. Pretty respectable chance to go 7-3. But yeah, like they beat the Titans. Is that a particularly great test? No. They beat the Browns. Is that a great test? No. They beat the Saints. Is that a great test? No. They beat the Broncos. Is that a great test? No. They beat the Panthers. Is that a great test? No. They beat the Raiders. Is that a great test? Not really. So the Chargers haven't really beat a good team. If you look at the teams they've lost to, Cardinals, Chiefs, Steelers, all teams that look like playoff teams. So the Chargers are in a weird spot where you know they're going to handle business against bad teams. You just don't know how good they are. And I think that for what it's worth, they're going to be a playoff team they're going to be a team that makes the playoffs and loses in the first round, the wild card. So yeah, that's what I think. That's how I feel the Chargers season is going to fare. Williams is the 37th starting quarterback since the Packers got Favre. What a stat, Gale. My God. That's a crazy number. And I've known that there's a quarterback carousel in Chicago and it just goes round and round and round and round. But my goodness, 37. Quietly, what I'm realizing now is the Bears should have, that jersey that the Browns fans have, where it's every quarterback's name, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Bears quietly should have the same shit. Because 37 since Favre. My God, I had Jameson on the bench. Well, for what it is, for what it's worth, bro, Jameson could have had like a 50, 60-yard touchdown, but a Texans lineman hit Goff's arm. So if you started him and you saw that play, you would have been pissed. Jahmyr Gibbs gets the handoff on second down, gets stood up. Hurts MVP train started. Okay, I think Hurts had a good game, all things considered, but bro, the way he was holding on to the ball at some point, it was just bad, man. 5 sacks and the fumble in the first half was just bad. That really frustrated me. And I don't want to be too like critical of my own player because I feel like I'm overly critical, like more critical than I am of other players. But that shit was so bad. Okay, I'll get to this after this next play. Big down here, 3rd and 6. Detroit at around midfield. I feel like this is the territory where they'd go for it. Goff finds J-Mo in the middle of the field again. Another 3rd down. Another, looks like an in route, a crossing route for J-Mo right in the middle of the field. And Detroit's damn good at football, people. What do you think it is? Is it better defensive line players or poor offensive line players? You also believe the notion that players wants to tackle more has the play. Okay. We'll get to this after this play. Hand off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who gets about 5 yards. Okay. If we're talking about offensive line players and the issues, bro, it's more just the practice regulations on the fact that you can't really hit anymore in training camp or in practice. So it's really not possible to simulate line play until you start playing real games. So basically, you got to look at it like this: is all offensive lines and defensive lines, they don't really play any preseason. They just jump into the regular season and figure things out from that point onwards. And the reason that slants, that gives the advantage to the defensive line is because offensive line play is about structure and defensive line play is more about instincts. Like defensive linemen are more or less there to hunt. They're supposed to just like get after it, right? Offensive linemen can have some very particular assignments about, okay, yeah, I might have to block a certain gap. I might have to have a responsibility against a certain man, but if the man leaves the space and goes somewhere else, I have somebody else. Like there's a lot of structure to offensive line play. So the structure needs repetition a lot more than defensive linemen who sometimes they have structure. Oh shit, Jared Goff is going to scramble for the first down. Fucking hell, man. They let this slow ass quarterback pick up the first down with his legs. So yeah, that's my take on it, but I'm sure there's somebody that could have a better informed opinion. Hurts' back is aching from carrying Sirianni. Great comment. This is a great comment, and I'm going to steal it. I feel like OL coaching is a dying art. Only some teams truly emphasize OL coaching. Yeah, man, I'm so grateful that my team is one of those teams. Also, I feel like there's a small slant towards, or for like GMs that, I don't know. I think a team like Chicago, when you watch them play, and you see how bad their offensive line is, and then you take in the fact that the GM made moves for like Keenan Allen and Kevin Byard and DeAndre Swift and all these pieces that you might say are like less important than the offensive line. And then you factor in the fact that the GM used to play offensive line, and you're just like, how can you be so neglectful? Like some teams, you're right, are just neglectful. And it doesn't make sense. It's like, do you want to go for the receiver or the running back because it's the sexier pick? Is that Laporta? Hell yeah. He's on my fantasy team. Let's go. Despite the fact that Detroit scored, and I'm sad for that reason, I will accept the fact that my guys in fantasy are scoring. Can we please have some of that OL? Hold on. You already have a couple pieces. You have Seamalo, and then you also got Herbig, the offensive lineman Herbig. He once was on Philadelphia. So you guys got some of that offensive line play. I also don't think you guys need more. I think your young linemen are going to grow and develop, and then Frazier and Fautanu, they're going to hold it down for you guys for a long time. But Jones is a fucking terrorist. Oh, Broderick. This is the Georgia first-round pick. He's not good? Damn, that sucks. Maybe that's the issue then, because you have what's his name? I forget the name. Oh, Dan Moore. Oh, he keeps getting penalties. Oh, I have a question. I don't know if you would know this, but does he have stamina issues? Like, does he get gassed and get tired? Because a lot of the Georgia defensive linemen on the Eagles, that's what happens to them. Pisses me off. Hey, Jambo says the Chargers' next 4 games are going to be important. Let me see who those opponents are against. Bengals, Ravens, Falcons, Chiefs. I would add the Buccaneers to that for what it's worth, because I think when the Buccaneers are healthy, they're actually a good team. But he says we threw away a winnable cards game. I did a watch along for that game, by the way. It was a crazy game to watch along to. Steelers and Chiefs could have gone either way, but we lost at the end of the day. Yeah, I think with Harbaugh, I don't think you guys are a team that can really be blown out. So against these good teams, you guys are going to hang around. But I ultimately think the lack of talent will put you in a situation where you might come up short. If you look at the receiver position, I like Ladd McConkey. I don't necessarily like anything else that they have going on. Shout out to Josh Palmer. He's from the part of Toronto that I'm from. But, yeah, he's not that good. You look at their running backs situation. I like Dobbins, but I feel like at this point of his career, Dobbins is supposed to be a part of a 1-2 punch. He's not really a bell cow. So you need help at the skill positions, and then defensively, you probably need another off season of talent infusion. So, yeah, that's what I think it is with the Chargers. They just need more talent. Yeah, and it should be this way this year. You guys can raise up the standards next year. But yeah, that's dope. We have a Chargers fan now that I can bounce ideas off of. I'm trying to have a fan of every single team. That's the goal. Because there's nothing like, the thing is, I love football probably as much as anybody else could love football, right? But when you watch your own team, you watch with a different level of closeness and you pick up more. Like, oddly enough, like, I'll say that I've learned about the sport of football through the Eagles, because the attention to detail I watch with when they play is just different. So I find like I could probably watch 17 Chargers games, but I'm just not going to be watching with the level of closeness that Jen Will is going to be watching with. It's just different. End around. It looks like a Philly special. What the hell? Throw the ball away, Tank Dell. What did I just watch? Why would you give this flick and not give Tank Dell the option to throw the ball? He immediately carries the ball like a runner. He needed to throw that ball away. For paying at the trade deadline, we were in for Lattimore, but we weren't going to pay the overs. Hold on, that's Commanders though, right? Stroud takes a deep shot. He has a man. Let's go. We got a flag. Terrion Arnold, physical corner. Looks like he was a little too physical on this route. Yes. Oh, this week is amazing. We get Eagles Commanders. We get Ravens Steelers. We get Chiefs Bills. Oh, it's going to be a fucking amazing week of football, man. I can't wait. Let me see if there's any other matchups I'm forgetting. Okay, Packers Bears is happening, but to be honest, that's a one-way rivalry. The Bears hate the Packers, and the Packers are just in their own world. Broncos choking it was funny as hell though. 100%. That game was like, if I was a Broncos fan, I would just be looking in the mirror and I'd be like, man, we are losers. We are complete and outright losers. How can you leave that game feeling anything else? I would just feel like, bro, why am I even here? Why am I invested? You saw how Jaden Daniels got figured out, and then to be deadass, it was more Washington has no receivers besides Terry. Okay, so we've been talking about this, right? And I think like, oh boy, Brian Branch got his hands on that. That was a risky throw by Stroud. So I think the bigger thing is like Washington got figured out more than Daniels did. I think this was always coming in terms of the fact that basically this offense is three things right now: Daniels, McLaurin, and Cliff. That's the three pillars that this offense is resting on. Provided that there's only those three guys doing the heavy lifting, that was always going to get figured out. I think Jaden's going to be fine. But yeah, no, just as the time goes by, you're going to learn what are the more and more effective things to do against this, again, basically trio of guys. No way. They ran a draw on 3rd and 10 and it got slapped up like that. That's a disgrace. When you try to be cheeky and it goes that poorly, that's depressing. We were inquiring about Lattimore, but oh yeah, the Mingo trade. That was, yeah, it is what it is. But to be honest, I think the Mingo trade is exactly like the Trey Lance trade. They traded decent compensation for somebody that they really liked in the draft with no care for how they played in the NFL. John Christian Fairbairn knocks it down. 6-point lead for Houston now. It's getting tight, people. So yeah, and the thing is like we saw how Trey Lance played today. Obviously, he needs time to play because he just hasn't played that much football. But yeah, I mean, I think they're probably going to get the same result. I mean, I don't think I saw Mingo today, and they played Trey Lance, so anybody could have played. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to the game. Okay, enjoy Packers Bears. Shit. If you're a Packers fan, that must be the game you want to go to. The banter must be unreal. Vibes must be good too. You get to go watch a win over a rival. You get to watch the Bears do Bears things. Past couple of seasons, I strongly believe it's just some type of judge. After all, they do have JSS. Hold on. I forget. What is this in reference to? I forget what the conversation may have been 2 minutes ago when this chat was sent. This game is good when we barely did one. Oh, King, this is a great point. The stream is going well when the game recaps get pushed to the end. This is a real thing. But yeah, no, the thing about the Chiefs is like, I left that game feeling like, bro, again, great time to be a bad team. If you have a Super Bowl contending type of team, that sucks. Like as an Eagles fan right now, I'm pissed because it kind of just feels like it doesn't matter. The Chiefs are just going to win anyways. Like I'm watching my team with Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and Saquon Barkley, and I'm like, this is actually so good. Like I remember when I was younger, I thought LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, and Macklin was OP. I was not familiar. I was not familiar with how good it could get. This is unreal. And it just kind of feels like, yeah, it doesn't matter. The Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they're still the Chiefs. Trey Lance is currently learning French to speak, or learning to speak French right now to play in the CFL next season. Yo, the Toronto Argonauts need a quarterback. The Toronto Argonauts need a quarterback, so we could use Trey Lance. If he goes to the Argos, I will buy a jersey. Oh, you're talking about Juju? What a weird receiving core, man. They have DeAndre Hopkins and Juju Smith-Schuster in 2024. And that shit's okay. It's acceptable. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the TikToker that ended James Bradbury's career. And James Bradbury has not been the same after since then. Goff hands it off to Montgomery, gets stuffed. We need a big possession from the Texans defense here. This shit is dire. This shit is really, really dire. I have no faith in the Texans coming back if they go down in this game. They got to hold this lead. Yo, somebody subbed and became my 130th sub on the channel, so shout out to whoever that is. Road to 140 continues or begins. Oh no, who's this flag against? Don't give Detroit something cheap. Is this holding? Ah, it's on Houston. Hands to the face. I hate that penalty. I hate that penalty because it's so obvious. I feel like you'll have a really hard time getting away with hands to the face. Why do they do it? I'll rant NBA for a bit. I want to smash these Heat players. Our West Coast trip has gone to shit. Okay, a lot of Heat fans I've heard the same message from. Daniel and Joel, both Heat fans in the chat, or at least were in the chat at some point. Yeah, your fans seem very, very, very frustrated with the team. I haven't seen any Heat yet, but I just kind of feels like the end of a cycle is happening right now. Oh, come on, let's go, Houston! Get the ball! Fuck yes, let's go. Let's go. Was that Derek Barnett? Please, was that Derek Barnett? I don't know what the number was, but it looked like 95. Is he even still on the Texans? No, that's 96. Okay, he has dreads. Never mind. I think that's Danico Autry. What a play. And you know what? It doesn't even matter whether that's a fumble or an incompletion because he caught that shit out of the air anyways. Fumble, interception doesn't matter. Houston ball, all the same. Big plays. Houston's defense came to play. Look, I think D'Amico Ryans has done a shit ton of coaching over this past week and a half because this is not the same defense I saw play against the Jets on Thursday night. Play action. Stroud throws to the flat to Tank Dell, who does a weird spin move and gets wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. We'll get 2nd and 10 from the left hash mark. I'm happy and pissed because I have a Lions parlay. Shit, I mean, you may as well start putting together a Texans parlay. 2 turnovers for Goff. both I would say are a product of him kind of being unaware of defenders, not being aware of that pass rusher there, and then before that, not being aware of Jalen Petrie getting in that passing lane on the throw to the flat. 2nd and 9, Stroud finds Hutchinson, number 19, who got the big pass interference for the first down, and Houston has a first down. This game has gone sensationally. I'm so happy. Like, Houston very well could still lose, but still, what a start. Oh, yeah, there was a call that got reversed that's supposed to be a Titans turnover as a through fumble. They don't know if you've seen that. In terms of context, it would have been. No, I missed that clip. But so hold on. What did they call it? What was the original call, and then what did they settle it? Oh, they probably reviewed it as a. They thought it was a fumble initially. Then they reviewed it and they saw it was a passing attempt and it was an incompletion. Yeah, man, those are big calls. Huge swings that are defined by a little bit of arm movement. 2nd and 2, handoff to, is that Mixon? Yep, handoff to Joe Mixon. He's running hard. 1st and 10 for Houston at around the 11 as Gibbs and Montgomery watch on. Man, a John Mechie touchdown would be sensational right here. That's what we need. Stroud, toss to Mixon. Mixon, not a lot of room. 2nd and 10. We can't see a field goal here. Fumble returned. I haven't seen the play, so it's a controversial decision. Honestly, I think the main reason people weren't watching was because the second slate of games today was complete shit. Complete shit. Every game was a blowout. So I really don't think people were tapped in like that. Thank God that next week we get Chiefs Bills. Stroud in the shotgun, gets the snap, steps back, lots of pressure, tries to check it down to Mixon in the end, but that goes nowhere. 3rd and 10. All that momentum, man. Houston is risking squandering it away. I don't like this. I don't like it. Yeah, seems like they don't have a lot of the same options that they're used to having with like when they have their receivers. But with just Tank Dell, kind of feels like if they deal with one player that they'll be fine. Stroud scrambles, looks to the end zone, back of the end zone, tries to find Robert Woods, who cannot catch the ball, and the Texans will have to kick a field goal after that. So there's 4 minutes left. The Texans will start the second half with the ball. It looks like, however you chop it up, Detroit has one more possession. They'll have one possession down 9. And then Houston, they may get another possession before the half, but at the very minimum, they'll get the first one on the second, on the other side of halftime. So, yeah, it feels like Houston is gonna have to do everything they can to, at the very minimum, not lose momentum until the start of the second half. Because again, there's a chance that, let's say Detroit goes 3 and out, then you can have back-to-back drives up 9. You could give yourself a 16-point lead. It's possible. That's a fact. Like the Jets getting blown out by the Cards. Hey, Devontae, you looking good at New York. Yeah, the Jets get this game was, and I was actually kind of looking forward to this game from the standpoint of two teams that really need the win. And look, I don't think the Cardinals are worlds ahead of the Jets from a talent standpoint. In terms of how much of a mess the Jets are, yeah, the Cardinals are definitely in a different universe. But I thought maybe it could be a competitive game, and I was very wrong. I was very wrong. Cardinals look good, man. Cardinals look like a very, very well coached team. I still maintain that their talent is nothing special. It's a very ordinary team on paper, but their coaching staff has them balling. And particularly, it's the coordinators. I actually don't give Gannon that much credit for the X's and O's. But for those of you guys who maybe aren't familiar, the Cardinals, when they hired Gannon, because they kind of knew that they were at the beginning of a project, they knew that they could afford to be a little bit risky with their coaching staff. So they basically got an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator that are like 29 and 31, like super young, but basically two of the higher rated coaches in football for their age. And yeah, both of them look like hoopers, man. I think the Cardinals are going to get their staff rated at some point. But yeah, Devontae to New York, man. Look at the Jets. The Jets are what, a 3-7 football team that was buying all year, all offseason, and in the all offseason and in the season with Devontae. Talk about an ugly situation. But we can do some game recaps now. We can definitely do some game recaps. Giants Panthers. This one's real quick. Holy shit, the Giants are a mess. This game got to overtime somehow. Every time we did a season prediction, I would pick this game as a tie. And because it's in Europe, I'd be like, yo, this shit's about to be a draw. But it did go to overtime. But Tracy, the Giants running back, guaranteed we don't see a tie. He fumbled the game away. And man, the Giants are a complete mess. As of right now, they have the number 1 overall pick, and that shit is deserved. Holy shit, this team sucks. And I thought that they had some okay performances kind of towards the beginning of the year, but this is falling apart very quickly. But this team is Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and who's the left tackle that got hurt? Andrew Thomas. This team has 3 ballers and a bunch of trash. But yeah, shout out to Bryce Young. Back-to-back wins. This man is quietly trying to get the Panthers away from a spot where they could draft his replacement. I see him. If he gets, here's my thing. So many teams need quarterbacks. If he wins a couple more games, I think he puts them in a position where they have to draft like the 5th best quarterback in the first round or just keep Bryce Young. Low key, that man's coming to save his job. That's crazy. I'm fuming that the Texans lost to those lots. Bro, that loss to the Jets was crazy for Houston. What is this? Is this another fumble? No, it's an incompletion. Wait, hold on. How did I miss 2 downs? This was 3rd down? Yo, what? Or no, that was 2nd down. Okay, that was 2nd down. That makes sense. Why did you see the entire game? Why would you do this to yourself? Why would you see the entire game? What's been more of a failure? Big 3 at Brooklyn. Rodgers considered the difficulty of making it to a conference finals as well. Yo, I think the basketball one is the bigger failure, but the football one is a funnier failure. 3rd and 8. The Lions have gone 3 and out. So the Texans have a chance to have back-to-back drives up 9. If the Texans play their cards right, they could go up 26-7. Now, that's a very much a best-case scenario. But yeah, things look good. Giants in a good spot. You'll sign Geno Smith. Holy shit, this is a horrible idea. If they sign Geno Smith, bro, clean house. Fire everybody immediately if they sign Geno Smith. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's pouring in from the raid. Welcome to In Motion Football. I feel like this United and Liverpool show gets rated to this stream every week. So you guys might be familiar by this point. This is In Motion Football. My name is Alam. This is a whole different football that we talk about. This is not footy. This is American football. We're watching Sunday Night Football, Lions at Texans. It's a pretty good game. If you guys are interested in the sport, this would be a pretty cool spot to watch the game with, other people that love the sport. If this is a sport that you have no familiarity with, that you'd like to learn, great place to watch the game and ask any questions you might have to passionate fans of the sport in the chat. But yeah, big up to Flawless as always. Appreciate the support, bro. 130 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I know Flawless always tells you guys that, likes and subscriptions are very important for YouTube channels. So make sure you guys run those numbers up. Sorry. But yeah, as always, Sarcasm City, always welcome here. 130 people out of nowhere. This is crazy. Geno Smith to the Giants would be catastrophic. Actually, guys, there was a stream I did on this channel. Like, it's about a 25-minute stream. Quarterback musical chairs. Or I kind of looked at the quarterback landscape in the league and what it might look like in the offseason. Quietly, I don't know if the Seahawks are going to get rid of Geno because of the alternatives. So I was looking at it this way. Like, because of the amount of quarterbacks that are going to go at the top of the draft, there's not that many spots or quarterbacks available. Like, Fields, Russell Wilson, and Sam Darnold might get spots, but outside of that, you got maybe Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, maybe. If you're in the market for a quarterback, get comfortable with the idea of drafting somebody, because established talents are not it. But look at this, for example here. Giants and Panthers. You know what? Actually, let's run this right now. 2025 NFL mock draft. Let's go. Tankathon. What are we saying? Wait, the Jaguars had the number 1 overall pick? No way. Surely not. Why the hell would they do that? Okay, you know what? Maybe the Jags have a top pick. I'll fix it next time. Psych. Okay. Patriots not going quarterback. Jaguars not going quarterback. Saints probably going quarterback. Panthers probably going quarterback. Browns, bro, what did I click? No. Panthers probably going quarterback. This is crazy. If they go wide receiver, send this franchise into, just fire the franchise into the sun. Browns probably going quarterback. Raiders going quarterback. Giants. Oh my God. If you're picking 7th overall, buddy, there's a decent chance. Yo, CJ Stroud. Nah. No. Okay, thank God. It was an incompletion. If he threw that pick, I would have been so pissed off. There's a decent chance. Okay, Miami wouldn't. Tennessee probably would. Quietly, there's 6 teams that need quarterbacks in the top 10. 5 of them will get them. 1 team has to scramble. But outside of that, and that's a sack. But it sounds like Shedeur is a lock to the Raiders. But brother, that I think that involves the Raiders getting the 1st overall pick. I don't think that another team would let Shedeur drop if they are number 1 overall and they want Shedeur. So if the Raiders get number 1 overall, then yeah, I'm penciling in Shedeur. Why was that a tongue twister? But if not, bro, I think somebody else. If the wrong team, if certain teams end up at number 1 overall, they're taking Shedeur. 2nd and 22, handoff up the middle. Fucking hell, man! They're just trying to kill clock. The potential for maybe maximizing the end of this first half for the Texans is all the way gone down the drain because of that 1st down. I just think we need a corner. I really don't like our secondary. Yo, give me the rundown on your secondary and how you feel about every player, because I'll pull up the depth chart and I'll read you off my thoughts from a distance, and you can let me know how on point I am, because like very real chance I'm out of touch with Chargersville. Okay. Asante Samuel, I'm pretty sure that he's like a ball hawk, but not necessarily like a great coverage guy. But he'll make up for any coverage lapses by getting picks. Christian Fulton, my understanding is that he's kind of just like average. Derwin James plays a very particular role, plays it well, but the things he's not good at, he's definitely not like good at. Elijah Molden, I heard was solid. Alohi Gilman, I heard was solid. Who else is here? I feel like there's a corner. Oh, Eli Apple, we already know that story. Cam Hart, I heard he was decent. Fulton is trash. Hear you. Okay, good to know. Yeah, bro, I was gonna run off every list. This is what I love about meeting fans. This is what I love about meeting fans, because you can actually get the real knowledge about their team. Okay, say less. Molden is okay. Alohi Gilman is trash, and then Hart has been good. Because yeah, he's a rookie 5th-round pick. Asante is hit and miss. Perfect. See, I feel like that's kind of what I got at, just in different words. Like, there are coverage issues, so the mistakes will happen for that reason. But he's also a playmaker, so there will be picks, right? Kind of in the same vein as who his dad was. But his dad was like such a playmaker that you didn't give the first fuck about the yards he gave up. Oh man, his dad, one of my favorite players. Asante Samuel was him. That man loved picking off the Manning brothers. I know the Mannings hate to see Asante Samuel coming. But yeah, Shador will pull an Eli Manning. Maybe. I'm kind of skeptical about him having enough clout. I'm aware how much clout that Dion has, but I'm a little bit skeptical. Because yeah, just the Mannings, that's a different level of clout. That's like football royalty there. Asante cost me a Super Bowl. Damn, okay, that's true. That's fair. He did cost you a Super Bowl. Can we swap players instead? Have Senior play for us. That's funny. Yeah, that was one of Asante Samuel Jr. That's one of the first players where I saw that he was in the NFL, and I'm like, fuck, it's happening. I've heard, my dad talk about it, about how, like, yeah, it's weird when you start seeing children of athletes that you watched in the sport, and then it happened. Okay, but bet we can do some game. I think we'll do a game recap. Niners Bucks. Okay, this game could have gone either way. And the main reason it could have gone either way is because Jake Moody missed 3 kicks. That's Jake Moody is the streakiest kicker. Wait, hold on. Why did I think we were at halftime? I'm that out of it. Anyways, I'm that like, I just thought the way Houston played, I'm like, all right, this half is over. They packed it in. Low key, there's a whole 2 minutes left. We did have JJ Watt visit us a few weeks ago, and it would have been nice if he suited up for us. Oh yeah, I saw JJ Watt pull up. But truthfully, like, I think defensive line help for you guys could only go so far. It does sound like you guys need some pieces in the secondary. Who's the defensive coordinator for the Chargers? Why do I forget the name? I know Greg Roman is the OC. Who is the DC? Hand off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Jesse Minter. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's from that Harbaugh tree, I believe. I heard a lot about him having some experience in the Harbaugh tree. But yeah, big up Joel. Oh, the other thing I was gonna ask, someone we won't have soon. Fair enough. The other thing I was gonna ask Jen Will, What do you think of Herbert in the Greg Roman offense? Because before the year, I thought it was kind of a weird combination for this reason, right? I thought that Greg Roman's offenses in the past have been focused on maximizing the quarterback's running ability in terms of like maximizing how much we stress the defense with it, and then kind of building the offense off of that in terms of the running game, and then kind of like sparsely bit of a passing game as well. And then I saw Herbert, and I'm like, okay, this is a weird fit because Herbert's, yes, he can run, but he's not really going to run like the Kaepernicks and the Tyrod Taylors and the, who else did Roman have? There's somebody I'm missing. Oh, Lamar's. He's not going to run like those guys, right? And then because Greg Roman is kind of a terrorist about receivers, I'm like, well, Herbert's arm isn't really going to be maximized either. So I'm like, because of Roman, Herbert's arm isn't going to be maximized, and because of Herbert's legs, Roman's scheme isn't going to be maximized. So I thought that there was a bit of a mismatch there, but it seems to be working okay. And I just wanted you to chime in. Like, what do you think about Herbert? Incompletion, a 3-0 from Detroit. Houston has another chance to get points. Look, I'm super impressed with Houston's defense right now. They're balling. The Heat nearly gave me a heart attack. Miami Heat win. Penguin finale is okay. What is Penguin? I'm not familiar. Serafel, where is he? We are washed, by the way. Serafel will pull up. When we talk about the Vikings Jaguars game, we'll have a lot to talk about. Okay. Oh, poor guy. 82 ran right into a blocker. I feel like he was about to run that shit back. He looked like he had space. Oh, okay. I'm unfamiliar. You guys enjoy that though. Ah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hero, another 20+ point game. Apologies as loud as your disrespect. Yeah. My guy's here to defend Hero against all odds. First and 10 for Houston here. It looks like they're not just going to run this clock out. They're trying to get points. Stroud finds Mechie. Mechie gets about 9 yards. They're going to have to hurry up here. I don't think it's worth burning the timeout here. I also don't think you can spike the ball on second down. So they hurry up. Stroud drops back. Oh, shit. He finds Mechie for about 30-ish yards. The Texans are already in field goal range, and they take a timeout here. So there's a chance that John Christian Fairbairn could make this a 12-point game. Man, let's go. You love to see it. Man, Houston, stop. Look, this is by far the best game I've seen Houston play this year. I've been very critical of how they've played because it's looked pretty shit. But this has been good. I mean, since the bye, we've been throwing it, and I guess the things we didn't throw. I mean, yeah, so what it sounds like, what I was trying to ask is like, what do you think has happened to resolve the issue that I thought was going to happen? And it looks like the what's happened is just that Roman has adjusted. Okay, if they're throwing the ball, that's Roman adjusting because that's never what he wants to do. My guy Greg Roman wants to run the shit out of the ball. Big up, Flawless. Definitely, man. I'm trying to build the work rate up, man. Trying to build the work rate up. I see what Sarcasm City did to get to where it is, man. I'm trying to do my part to try to keep up. There it is, people. Houston hitting the first down as a team. Dalton Schultz to the sideline too, so the clock stops. Houston's out here cooking on this drive. What the hell? As Flawless said, run up the likes, people. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're here every Sunday, guaranteed. Sometimes every Thursday and Monday, but every Tuesday as well. So every Sunday and every Tuesday, streams are consistent on this channel. That's just how we do it here. CJ Stroud first down at the 15-yard line. Throws a jump ball to the back of the end zone, which quietly is just a throwaway. The pressure was about to get home, so he got rid of the ball early. Still hero out for me. That experiment is done. Hero out is wild. We would be 0-9. Damn, we got hero wars going on in the chat, man. What a time to be alive. Facts, hit the likes. Don't be a Saka today. Don't be Jake Moody with the like button, bro. Oh, come on, Tank Dell. You can 100% make that catch. Third and 10. Last shot before the half. Stroud to the end zone, and it's a touchdown to Mechie. This has actually been the John Mechie drive. How many yards does Mechie have on this drive? Brampton, stand up. Brampton, stand up. John Mechie with the drive of his career. First down, 9 yards for Mechie. Second down, 25 yards for Mechie. And then he scores from 15. So John Mechie on this drive had 49 yards and a touchdown. The drive of his career. Let's do it. For those of you guys who aren't familiar, Mechie is from Toronto, from specifically the part of Toronto that I'm from, and I actually know people who played football with John Mechie at like younger youth levels. And he was at Alabama. He missed a year he was at Alabama. He missed a lot of time because of injury. Then he went to the NFL, got drafted in the 3rd round, missed a year because of cancer. And now he's back. And this is the best day of his career thus far in the pros. 50 yards on one drive, big play at the end of the half to give Houston what's going to be a 16-point lead. And they start the second half with the ball. Wow. I did not know this game was possible for Houston or Detroit. Either or. My commentary about Houston for a bunch of this year, right? I would say the first 5-6 weeks has been, hey, they're not playing that well, but I expect them to play well. They're not playing that well, but I expect it to turn around at some point. And then it just kept not looking good. So at some point, I'm like, fuck it. Maybe they're just not good. And just as I arrived to that conclusion, Houston is playing their best game of the year by far. And on the Detroit side of things, you guys look like ass right now. Man, Detroit might drop to 7-2, tying with the Eagles for the first seed in the NFC. What a sensational day. It's a 16-point game. Even a field goal on the first drive of the second half would make it a 3-score game. What the hell? I did not know this was in my future tonight. Jimmy needs Rachel again to find that inner MJ. This guy's jokes. Man, hell yeah, Gail. That was amazing. Big up, Sir Fell. Hey, you and me both. We both actually slapped Jacksonville back-to-back weeks in terms of actually playing the game, but somehow won a 1-score game. Like, the Eagles outgained the Jaguars like 300 something to 100. No, it was like 280 to like 40 at some point, right? It was a 1-score game in the end. The Vikings, at some point, the yardage was 380 to 120, and they won by 5. Jacksonville somehow finds a way to keep ass whoopings close, because that's the thing. It's not an ass whooping because the scoreboard didn't reflect it. No, when you smack a team in terms of yards gained, that's an ass whooping. Somehow Jacksonville finds a way to make ass whoopings look respectable. It's crazy. I've never seen a team like this before. Doug Peterson, what were you cooking? Bum Jacksonville, Hillbilly, Florida, Sunshine Trevor is done out here. Yeah, no. Jacksonville is cooked. Doug Peterson is cooked. Trevor Lawrence is only not cooked because they just paid him. Goff throws it into the dirt. Second down. We got linemen beefing. And this is a hell of a first half. He isn't an NFL QB and he's not a real person, because who the hell is named Michael McCorkle? The hell is a Michael McCorkle? Daniel, not only Bradley needs to be fired, also Ballard needs to go. This is true. Chris Ballard has way too much job security. This run of quarterbacks that he's on is... How do I compare it? What's a good run? I haven't seen a team on a run this bad for a long time. Goff, Hail Mary, and it gets picked. Yo, this is the Goff's third turnover of the first half. Is this a big deal? Obviously not. However, 3 turnovers in the first half for Goff. Houston, what have you done? Today, Houston and Pittsburgh are my favorite football teams. But yeah, Mac Jones is ass. But we knew that. You aren't doing enough, man. When someone throws in the dirt, you saw how like that this chat completely caught me off guard. I stopped in the middle of my sentence. I was like, where the fuck is he going with this? But yeah, no, it is what it is, man. I feel like I'm the most honest commentator in the history of NFL coverage. Nobody keeps it real like me. You don't get unnecessary exaggerations. You don't get random glazing. You will get criticism when it's necessary. Let's talk about that phantom illegal contact call against the Broncos. Hold up, Serfeld, before I comment. Is this the one at the end of the second quarter? Or in the second quarter where there was illegal contact on a Nick Benito sack, which I think was a third down as well? Is that the same call? Because it's funny you say this, because me and my dad were talking about that exact play at some point today. But yeah, that was fucked. That game was fucked too. Okay, we got game recaps to get to. Yes, okay. So, guys, for those of you who may not have watched this, 3rd and 15, Nick Benito gets a big sack. It looks like a big stop. And at that time, it was 14-3, I want to say, Broncos. And they call illegal contact. It's an automatic first down, right? But the problem is nobody saw it. And then on the replay, they showed a replay of the sack. They didn't show the illegal contact, and then they just showed the next play, and they never went back to show the illegal contact. And like, I was actually really upset because I'm like, obviously the penalty is more important than the sack that doesn't count. Why are you showing a replay of a sack that will not be recorded in history because it literally never happened because a penalty was called? Why not show the penalty? But they didn't show it. And it's like, did it even happen? So yes, thank you for bringing this up, because that was bullshit. And it really just feels like everything is on the Chiefs' side. The referees, health, Judge, Black Magic, Taylor Swift. Think about all the things they have going in their favor. Like, how are you going to beat that team? You don't have to just beat 11 players. You have to beat 11 players, 3 referees, Taylor Swift, and a shaman somewhere out there. You know how much shit that is to go up against? It's crazy. What do you expect? The Chiefs get away with face masks and false starts? It doesn't matter. It's different, man. It's really different out here, and it's frustrating. And again, like I said, I left that Chiefs game feeling like, bro, if you have a team that might win a Super Bowl, it's a terrible time. It's a terrible time to be that kind of a fan, man. I'd rather be a fan of a team that's ass right now. At least I don't think I'm going up against these Chiefs. But yeah, we'll do some game recap. So this game, um, Jake Moody missed 3 field goals to make this game competitive. Oh, facts. Don't forget Roger Goodell. That's true. Add another person to that list. Moody left this game close because of 3 missed field goals. But the thing is, quietly, Tampa Bay persevered through a lot to almost force the overtime here. 1, they're missing their receivers. 2, they're playing on a short week because of Monday Night Football and the fact that the Niners had a bye week, right? So with all those things working against them, they went down 10-0 early. They still got a lead at some point. I think they were up 17-3. They could have won the game at the end. Baker Mayfield was out here hooping. They were, bro. I don't know if you guys saw that play, but Baker Mayfield held off Bosa with one hand like he was really upset about the election, bro. Baker Mayfield has to be a Democrat because there's no way, just on account of his body, that he can stiff arm Bosa like that, bro. His spirit must have been so perturbed because of the election that a different type of spiritual just strength kicked in, and he said, "Nah, mega boy, hold that." Held him off with one arm, threw the ball with his right hand on 4th down, found Rashad White. Honestly, if I was Baker Mayfield, I would be I would be telling that story like Soldier Boy talking about the rivalry, because that's how epic that was. Or Soldier Boy talking about the robbery. I don't know what I said. I think I may have said rivalry. That was crazy shit, though. That Baker Mayfield play was wild. I could not believe what I saw. And the fact that it didn't lead to anything because they lost, bro, it was bad. It was really, really, really bad. I cannot, like, it feels like when really great highlights happen in a losing effort, the highlight doesn't hit the same. If the Bucks won, though, put that video up there. Like, amazing that he held off Joey, like Nick Bosa, whatever Bosa it was, with one hand and then threw the ball on a 4th down. That shit was crazy. But yeah, man, Tampa Bay, quietly, pretty decent team. They just have like the worst injury luck. This was a really weird scheduling quirk. The Niners off a bye week, they got healthy. So I mean, I think Tampa deserves better. And here's the thing, people. I'll pull up their schedule here. Tampa Bay, I think, is about to go on a run. So when we go to games, right? Cool. They're about to get a bye week, and then they go to the Giants. I think they're winning. Panthers winning. Raiders winning. Chargers. Hey, that's a competition. Cowboys winning. Panthers winning. Saints winning. So the Bucks quietly might run the table from this point onwards. So keep that in mind. They're going to get healthier. They're going to play a bunch of shit opponents, and they're probably going to win a bunch of football games, but they deserve so much better. Debo roughed up Moody and the holder. Hold up. I didn't see that he roughed up Moody. I saw the holder. What did he do to Moody? What the hell? That's crazy. I missed that. Now, I'm pretty sure Mayfield for Joe Stein. Someone on Twitter said Bo said to resist because the quarterback was right. Wait, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, here's the thing. I'm seeing the Chiefs are beatable in the chat, and the Chiefs aren't winning. They're just surviving. My thing is like, I think the Chiefs were just surviving last year as well. I don't think they looked good last year in the regular season either. And that's just my thing. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like I've been here with the Patriots dynasty. There were times in the regular season where it was like, they don't look that good. And then on account of the fact that they have Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, at some point in January, they're just going to figure something out. The black magic is real. Like I said, when you go up against the Chiefs, you're going up against 11 Chiefs, 5 referees, Taylor Swift, Roger Goodell, and a shaman. You're going up against a whole lot. But yeah, I didn't see what Debo did to Moody. These Niners won't die. I swear it's annoying. I think they will die at some point, to be honest. I thought the fact that like last year's Niners team does not play this close of a game against Tampa. But this Niners team just isn't that good. So, yeah, the defense isn't the same. We'll see how McCaffrey plays for the rest of the way. Okay, hold up. Let me open this up right now. Oh, he kind of caught Debo with like the follow through, but I don't think he really did shit. I saw what he did to. I saw the thing to the long snapper, but I don't know. I don't think he really he caught Moody by accident. I don't think that's big of a that's that big of a deal. I'm just praying this undefeated season shit is distracting the Chiefs and they get disappointed in the AFC divisional. So here's the thing about the undefeated season, right? I actually think in pursuit of chasing an undefeated regular season, they might pick up an injury that they didn't have to, or they might dig too deep into their bag to win regular season games. I could see chasing a regular season kind of stopping them from winning the Super Bowl. I will say this though, if they run the table in the regular season and they go 17-0, they're not winning a Super Bowl. I just don't think that's going to happen. I want to pick the Bills next week. I got the Bills winning. And again, I still don't know if I'm going to that game or not, but I think the Bills are going to win. But yeah, we can move on to another game. Falcons Saints. Okay. I'm really disappointed in myself because I know better. When I talked about this game in the preview, I was like, yo, the Saints are shit. The season is over. Why is this game so close in the odds? I did not account for the fact that the Saints were going to be playing with an interim coach, an interim special teams coach, and their first game was a rivalry game. That is indeed a perfect storm. And I should have seen this coming. I know better. I'm a savvy enough football fan. But that combination was going to make for a more hectic game than I initially thought. So I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't see this coming. Again, I know better. New manager bounce. There we go. It's that new manager bounce. That's what it is. It slipped. I didn't think about it. But yeah, no, the Saints are still complete shit. It's just that they were playing at home in a rivalry game, and probably what is their biggest rivalry game with a special teams interim coach whose name is Rizzy, who talked about how he clogged the toilet before the game, so he thought the day might be crap. I was like, fuck, I know better. I should have picked the Saints. Oh, hell yeah, bro. They got to get one win, and then the season goes to shit. But yeah, if you're the Falcons, this is a horrible loss. And the way Tampa Bay is about to wake up, I think it was Joel that said that it's not guaranteed that the Falcons win the division. This loss is a backbreaker kind of that I didn't expect. I expected the Falcons to win this game. If you're going to lose this game, they play Denver next. Denver might be really pissed. If they lose to Denver, then it could get sticky. The Falcons got to fix up because Tampa Bay is coming. That leads us to this game that we already kind of talked about a little bit. Yes, this is a rivalry game, but it's a rivalry that the Chiefs dominate. Yeah, bro. This game, I expected the Chiefs to win. I thought that the Broncos would definitely leave this week being 5-5. I respect the Broncos defense, but I did not expect the Broncos offense to be able to even have the day that they had. They only scored 14 points, but they had a couple big plays. And that's something that I was a little bit surprised about. Because Bo Nix threw for 215. He had multiple 30-yard passes, a 20-yard pass. That's the thing I didn't see coming. So, you know, the fact that the Broncos were actually able to make big plays on this defense, even against corners like McDuffie, that was the surprise in this game for me. Obviously, it's crazy luck that the Chiefs were able to block that kick, and I'm not sure how such a short kick got blocked up the middle. But it is what it is, man. The Chiefs' black magic is real. Like I said, I think if they go 17-0, they're not going to win a Super Bowl. But man, it just feels like they have some shit going on. And I'm terrified at the idea of playing them in a Super Bowl. I do not want to experience that shit. The fact that they pulled this one out is crazy. I mentioned this earlier, but when I was watching that field goal attempt, I was like, okay, the only thing that could go wrong is if somebody comes flying around the edge, and then that's how you block it. Man, that shit didn't even happen either. Was Sertan back? Yeah, Sertan was back. It's the curse of John Elway and Peyton Manning. Man, Broncos are just ass. They're just losers, man. This game just left me feeling like, man, you guys are losers. Sean Payton, Bo Nix, all you guys, man. You guys are just scrubs. What a shit organization. Next game, Bills Colts. This will be the last one with the second half starting up. Bills Colts. So quietly, this game was actually close after Flacco threw the game away at the beginning. Flacco starts the game with 2 interceptions, a pick 6, and then another pick that sets up a field goal. Literally, the 10 points there that he threw away was the difference. Bills didn't play a sharp game. They also didn't have to, evidently. But yeah, I left this game feeling like the Colts defense had a respectable game. Their offense, again, was behind the 8 ball the entire time. Jonathan Taylor had a better game than I expected because his stats are much worse when Flacco plays. But yeah, the Colts quarterback situation is a disaster, and it's going to be the reason that things don't work this year. And the quarterback history of that team, bro, it's a fireable offense for Chris Ballard. And the quarterback mismanagement of the job is honestly a valid. Oh no, CJ Stroud. Oh no, bro. Fuck this game. We'll get back to this game. Bro, what the fuck did I just watch, man? It's the first play of the second half. You have one job. You have one job. And that's just not to do something stupid. Yo, what the hell was that? It was late. It was inside. It was many things. Yes, General. It is time for Flacco to hang it up. That's 100% on Stroud, man. Stroud's out here trying to return favors and shit. The hell did I just watch? Wait. Are they reviewing it for hitting the ground? Wait. No, they're not. Fuck. I really tried to will that into existence. I just saw one of the replays and it looked like something, but nah. They just needed a field goal to make it a 3-score game, too. I didn't even need a touchdown. Montgomery, first run for 11 yards. Yo, the Lions are up. The Lions are awake. Congrats, CJ Stroud. You just gave them life. What's CJ's full name? What did the initials stand for? CJ Stroud is no way. Okay, guys in the chat. No. Please do not Google. Please do not Google. If you do Google, do not spoil in the chat. Guys in here, guess what CJ stands for? Oh, Serafel knows. What the fuck is Coleridge? Coleridge Bernard. Yo, this guy is Coleridge Bernard Stroud? Coleridge Bernard Stroud sounds like a founding father. God damn. Put this guy on America's team. Coleridge Bernard Stroud the fourth. Goff to the end zone and he throws the pick back. Holy shit. My night is officially not ruined anymore. My night. Oh, this is great. This is great. Goff 4 turnovers. You thought it was Claremont Jones? Nah, B. Coleridge, Bernard, Stroud the fourth. That's why he went with CJ. 100% Gale. Yo, you know what's crazy? I can understand the first Coleridge being misguided and being like, you know what, I want my son to be Coleridge too, right? But I feel like the second Coleridge should have felt the pain of carrying the name Coleridge and being like, you know, I don't want to pass down these generational curses. I don't want to perpetuate a cycle of pain. Like the second Coleridge has to know I can't create a third Coleridge. The problem was that the third Coleridge didn't occur to them either. I'm praying that CJ ends the cycle. I mean, I think he already did because he doesn't go by Coleridge Stroud. Because here's the thing: if he was Coleridge Stroud, he's going in the third round. They don't draft Coleridge Strouds in the first round. That's not a marketable guy. I'm so glad I looked that up. Yeah, you can see, you can find a lot of weird shit looking up people's full names. Like Mac Jones is Michael McCorkle. CJ Stroud is Coleridge Bernard. God damn, man. You learn something new every day. Yo. This is crazy. And we all thought he was as cool as San Andreas CJ. Nah, he understood. Wait, oh, true. Let's see. What is John Morant's name? Oh, it's Demetrius. Oh yeah, but his dad is T as well. So his dad passed. See, so his dad passed down Demetrius, and Ja was like, "Nah, we end this right now. I'm going by my middle name." Holy shit, man! What a day! What a day! Okay, we just need the Texans. No, are they reviewing this? What are they reviewing it for? Oh, when he's down? Are they putting it at the one? Oh, you got a tush push from here. Make sure you don't get a safety. No way. No way, Joel. This man said Tetris Morant. Don't kill me. Oh yeah, Patrick Levon Mahomes. Yo, that's what I remember seeing on Twitter. They're like, yo, that's how we know his dad picked his middle name. Because his mom definitely would not have gone with Levon. Oh my god. This guy Robert was tried to bobble the ball back in the air. You know what I was um I I've seen the Eagles run the tush push from their own one to just get away to get away from the 1 yard line to get some space. I do think that would be the funniest way for the game to end, where like the Eagles are up at the end. They're at their own like inch-yard line, so they can't take a knee. You can't do victory formation. So you gotta like run the tush push out of your own end zone to win the game. That would be a hilarious way for a game to end. Yo, CJ is pissing me off. That's another pass that was close. Sauce Gardner needs to drop his nickname after days. Called him Ahmad. I'm gonna call him Ahmad. Yo, Ahmad Gardner sounds like a solid football name too. Also, the thing with Sauce is like I think I think sauce is a cool concept to talk about as a concept, right? I don't think calling a person Sauce is that cool. Like, I think because Sauce Gardner is who he is, and he is a cool person, right? I think he gets a lot of credit for his name, but I think a dude named Sauce in ordinary circumstances would be kind of weird. Like if a guy ever told me, he's like, "Hey, my name is Sauce," like I would want to tell him, like, my brother in Christ, I'm not calling you Sauce. I'm not calling a dude Sauce. Like I have no desire to do that. Like, let me know what else I can call you. I think Sauce Gardner is pretty fortunate for himself that you'll never just hear his name in a vacuum. You'll hear it like knowing that he is a 6 foot tall, talented corner who straps guys up on the perimeter. Every other name is good as long as it's not Grady Dick. Okay, hold on. Do I have the thing about Grady though, right? Can I change this? Okay, hold on. Real quick. A real quick crossover to Toronto Hoop Talk. But when Grady Dick is your name, you can do memes like this. That's the good thing. But other than that, to be honest, there's not a whole lot of upside. All right, back to normal business. Yes, I saw Trey McBride throw him, just absolutely toss him. So Surfell on my basketball channel, whenever Grady hits a 3, I put that on the screen. It's a must. But I saw Trey McBride toss him, bro. That was a problem. Sauce Gardner's got to tackle better. I'm surprised we're winning by this much, brother. We all are. We absolutely all are. Grady's leading his whole draft class in scoring. More points than Wemby, more points than everybody else. It's pretty hilarious. You know what it is though, too? Like, there's a phenomenon where nobody wants to compare white hoopers to like anybody other than white hoopers. Like, and I understand it, right? It's just funny though, because like Grady cannot be compared to any of the white shooters because it actually doesn't apply. He's not JJ Redick, he's not Corver, he's not Duncan Robinson. Like, from a game standpoint, he looks like a lesser Devin Booker, right? But you'll never hear somebody compare a white hooper to like, oh, this guy's the next Devin Booker. Like, you'll just never hear it. Because like it's just a mental thing we have. But like, his game is not remotely similar to any of the other like classic stereotypical like white boy shooters. Yes, his game is so much more than spot up shooting. But yeah, we'll pivot away from the basketball for a second to get back to Bills and Colts. So yeah, I think the Bills probably looking forward to the Chiefs. Actually, real quick, before you say this is true. Hero also kind of doesn't fit the archetype similarly. So you could say that there's some, and when I say that, like looking like in the same style as Devin Booker, but not as good, that kind of does put you in Tyler Hero's territory. It's a very small sample size so far. What do you think of the previous NBA draft class being the weakest? Weakest? I don't know about weakest. I'd have to look at some other draft classes, but I can definitely get behind the fact that it's underwhelming. But yeah, Bills Colts. I think the Bills were looking ahead to the Chiefs because they kind of were in cruise control the entire game. At no point did it look like they were really invested in that game. They went up 10-0 early. And yeah, just Indy showed some good things, but their quarterback situation is too detrimental. Chris Ballard should get fired. Jared Goff takes a deep shot to a wide open Sam Laporta. God damn it, man. Chunk play after chunk play. But yeah, this quarterback situation is detrimental for the GM. And actually, with Shane Steichen, I think we can get to the point where we might have to consider the fact that he's a very good offensive coordinator, but his handling of the quarterback situation, he might not be ready to be a head coach. He might be a good head coach in a couple years, but I don't know. Oh, I don't know why, but when I understood when you said previous class, for some reason, because I was mentioning how Grady was one of the top scorers in his draft, I was thinking about that draft. Yeah, no, this past draft looks ass. This past draft looks terrible. I look forward to seeing Jacoby Walter play because I'm like, shit, everybody else is ass. This guy might be good. But to be fair, though, a lot of people said this. Like this was this was a commonly held belief that this draft class is weak compared to the next one. Like the Raptors, the Raptors made a point to convey their draft pick last year as opposed to this year because they would rather have the pick this year. This true though. I do benefit from being Laporta, but I could also use the touchdown. I mean, the thing, Surfeld, though, is that they're trying to make it a one-score game. I think there is value in making it a one-score game, so I can hear it. So it's a 10-point game. Stroud will step back onto the field. What happened to the Stroud that was hooping on that last drive before the half? I don't know, but first two drives in the second half looked terrible. What about having belief in the defense to get the ball back? I think that that's independent from the fact that one score is always better than two. I think not wanting it to be a two-score game doesn't necessarily say you don't have belief in your defense. Because, yeah, it's a 16-point game, bro. I feel like you have to go for two. But I guess, okay, if it's a 9-point, like, what is the main difference between it being 9 versus 10? Because now, basically, getting a touchdown and a field goal can't win them the game, whereas it could have won them the game before. I don't know. That's the thing is like I feel like the gap between 8 and 9, because the gap is one score versus two score, is huge. Then the gap between 9 and 10, it's not that big. So it's more just about understanding that dynamic and understanding that you have more to gain by making it an 8-point game than you have to lose by having it be a 10-point game. Bucks letting Drew to the Celtics and was in directions criminal and needs to be studied. Oh no, the Bucks self-sabotage with that trade is a generational self-sabotage. But also, I do think that they needed to do the analysis on Dame of like, however good of a basketball player he is, how does it affect a human being when their expectation is that they're going to be like early 30s divorced man in Miami with hundreds of millions? What happens when you get in the way of that expectation? Because I think that's a spirit breaker. I think that would break anybody's soul. If any of us in this chat held the belief that we were on track to be very wealthy single people in Miami, and somebody got in their way, okay, Dalton Schultz, here to keep Houston. Let's do it. Oh, they're not, man. Schultz didn't do it, man. But yeah, Dalton Schultz here to keep my hopes alive, to stop me from getting too discouraged. Mixing up the middle, gets about 6 yards. Second and 4. What is Houston's schedule looking like? Stroud, deep shot to the end zone. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my. Yo, Coleridge Bernard, Stroud the fourth. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Okay. So many issues there. One, I don't think CJ Stroud was in enough of a hurry to fuck his footwork up like he did there. He, all of a sudden, when running, came to a stop, didn't use his lower body, flicked that ball with his arm, right? That's one problem. You had enough time to set your feet, plant your feet, torque your core, and get a good amount of power into that throw. Would have helped you place the ball better. 2, in that situation, what would have helped about getting your feet set is that you would have been able to drive the ball. In that kind of a situation where your receiver is open, one of the things you do to get your receiver unopen is loft the ball in the air and give both players tons of time to adjust to the ball. You need to throw that ball on a line so that the DB has as little time as possible to react to that. But no, he didn't. He lofted that ball there. He threw that ball like a jump shot, bro. That shit had arc. So now everybody has time to react to it. That's just a bad play by a quarterback. There's nothing really much to say about that. Fucked his fundamentals up, misjudged how the ball needed to get there, just got core quarterbacking things wrong there. Hey, big up time to shine, man. These Texans are pissing me the hell off. How many turnovers do we have today? Jared Goff has 4 picks. Coleridge Bernard has 2. We got 6 picks today. Man, Coleridge Bernard Stroud the 4th. Bro, we all have the Lions. The problem is as an Eagles fan, I want the Texans to win. And then as a Vikings fan, Sir Fell wants the Texans to win. As a Steelers fan, I don't know. King probably wants the Lions to win. Wait. Yeah, that's what I said, right? Maybe not. But yeah, obviously the NFC fans competing with the Lions want the Texans to win. Fucking Coleridge. Now I have to see this on replay. Yo, he's so open. He's so open. You don't have to put so much air on the ball to let the DB catch up. He is so, oh my God. You know, sometimes I watch Jalen Hurts and like it pisses me off, right? Like he'll do things that piss me off. And I feel like I'll criticize him. And then I'll watch other quarterbacks and I'm like, yo, I should shut the hell up about Jalen Hurts. Because like I see so many quarterbacks do dumb things. Jahmyr Gibbs gets the toss and like 10 yards. And to be honest, he's going to get around 13. Couple steps away from breaking a touchdown there. Alum, who are a few Eagles you think can make the Pro Bowl? Pro Bowl? Jalen, Saquon. Oh, this is a stats-based thing, bro. I don't fucking know. Lane Johnson. Landon Dickerson. AJ, Saquon, Jalen. Probably not Devontae. I don't think he'll get the stats. Although he should, like, on merit, he deserves it because he's a great player, but he's not going to get the stats. Defensively, honestly, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, like, on terms of merit, but they're not going to get the stats. And then I don't think any of our safeties. Oh, Zach Bond is going to get the stats. Zach Bond is a fucking baller. That's crazy how good he is. Oh my God. Holy shit. 5 picks for Jared Goff. Yo, what is this game? Yo, here's the thing. Somewhere somebody is doing a drinking game based on picks. Jared Goff, what happened to you? Hasn't he been throwing like no incompletions in the last few games? Like he was on a crazy run or something for completion percentage. Yo, the wild shit too is that the ball's not hitting the ground today either. The problem is the other team's catching the ball too. The chat will. Jared Goff, does he have a funny nickname too? Oh man, don't let his his middle name be like. Oh, it's Jared Thomas Goff. That's fair. General, my brother, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Okay, give it to Mixon every single play. At this rate, do not even consider throwing the ball. Yo, Jared Goff has 8 completions and 5 picks. The guy's playing like Jared Goof. He's playing like Jared Goffel. Thursday destroyed it for me. Oh, were you going up against Jamar Chase? Because that was a matchup ender. If you're going up against Jamar Chase, I feel bad for you. Oh, okay. Also, yeah, no, okay, interesting. I'm sure there's a Swift song title that I could use as like a witty response to this, but I don't know any of them. So unfortunately, I can't do it. Yo, both these teams should just shake hands and run the ball for the rest of the game. I was thinking about this actually. Yes, Jared Goff has 5 picks in this game. And CJ Stroud has Coleridge Bernard Stroud the fourth has 2. Is there some kind of weather factor I'm not aware about? Yes, Gail, it's raining picks. The weather forecaster showed up before the game and he said 100% chance of picks. Lots of cloud coverage, and there is a storm surge of picks in Houston. CJ Stroud, handoff. See, I like this. Bobby Slowick said, we're not putting the ball in the air. Actually, okay, so I was thinking about this earlier, right? So I was thinking about whether if the Lions and the Eagles match up in the NFC Championship game, right? Dan Campbell and Sirianni need to link up on Saturday night, shake hands, and just say, yo, let's leave the punters and the kickers inactive and just go for it every fourth down. Like, they can't hate both of us if we band together, right? Like, there's strength in numbers. Let's be dumbasses together. I think that would be a pretty sick thing to have happen. I think both these offensive coordinators, they need to just call a timeout, walk to the middle of the field, shake hands, and say, brother, Run the ball for the rest of this game. These quarterbacks are shit tonight. It's Jared against Coleridge. Let's just put the ball in the hands of the running backs and pray to God that things go okay. Motherfucking Coleridge, man. Oh, did they get like 100? No, probably 90. Oh no, he's gonna pass the ball. Oh, he got sacked. See? He didn't pass the ball because he got sacked. You can't throw an interception if you get thrown to the ground. If the thing being thrown is not the ball, but it's actually you. Whatever the Eagles play us, I'm calling Jalen Alexander Hurts. Okay, at least he has a respectable middle name. At least, oh, that's the other thing, bro. Dakota Rain Prescott is crazy. That's a crazy name. Dakota Rain Prescott. And I'm not even like, I don't lean too heavy into like, let's make fun of athletes by comparing them to women, right? But Dakota Rain Prescott legitimately sounds like a pop star. That sounds like a 15-year-old pop star singer girl, Dakota Rain Prescott. What happened to screenplays and quick throws? I don't know, man. We're just losing recipes generally. Like, this is the stupidest called game considering how the quarterbacks are playing. This shit should turn into a 1930s game immediately. Run the ball. It's 2nd and 30. It's 2nd and 30. Why even risk putting the ball in the air? Why even risk putting the ball in the air? Just hand it off. Screen. There we go. Hand off on 2nd and 30. I am a fan. Yo, we're losing recipes. I'm actually going up against somebody who has Jared Goff in fantasy, and he's going to help me make a comeback. This is sensational. I was supposed to lose. Third and 26, and we're running the ball. Bobby Slowick understands. Hold on. What's Bobby Slowick's name? Oh, there's no middle name. Also, his name's definitely not Bobby. It's definitely Robert Slowick. Oh, never mind. It might be Bob Slowick. Well, the Texans punted on 4th and 15. This Lions returner. Oh, this flag is going to take back this return. Nah, man, he grew some sense. He grew some sense at some point. Anyways, maybe we can do some game recaps. This has been a really intense little bit here. Commanders Steelers. Okay, this was one of my favorite games this week because it went exactly what I wanted, exactly what I expected, and exactly what I was cheering for. I wanted a long, drawn out, physical football game that the Commanders lost. And that's exactly what I got, because they're going to have to come to Philadelphia on a short week after the Eagles got to rest players. So that's ideal. The fact that this game all came down to a fourth down where the Commanders jumped off sides, that's amazing. What a heartbreaking way to lose. Russell Wilson was cooking down the stretch to bring the Steelers back. The Commanders were down 10 points, I think, at multiple points in this game, and still messed the game up. I think with the Commanders, what people will recognize at some point is that, and I talked about this earlier, but this offense is entirely built on three pillars right now. That's Scary Terry, Jaden, and Cliff. And that's just not enough for this to be sustainable for an entire year. And you're probably going to see things crumble a little bit. And it's not that they had a horrible game. They scored 27 points for the most part. That's a good amount of points. But the Jaden had 50% passing completion and 202 yards, no touchdowns, 3 sacks. The Commanders couldn't run the ball. This offense was literally just Scary Terry today. And that's going to be a problem. And it's not going to get better this year. There's greater potential for defenses to adjust this year than there are for the offense to figure out new things, considering how little talent they have. So we did a playoff landscaping stream on Tuesday, and one of the big things that I guess was interesting or unique was the fact that I listed the Commanders as a team that's just here to make up numbers. And yeah, I think we're going to see more and more why that's the case as the year goes on. But for the Steelers side of things, man, another win for Russell Wilson. Another amazing game for George Pickens. You can really see that the quarterback change was more about George Pickens than anything. Russell Wilson has unlocked George Pickens, and that's made Pittsburgh a functional offense. And man, this game just went exactly how I wanted it to go. So I'm thrilled with that. But yes, time to shine. You're correct. The Commanders, in addition to needing a corner, needed a receiver, and argument could be made they might need a running back as well. And then what else defensively? They could probably use some defensive linemen as well. Linebackers are good. Safeties are solid. Corners needed help, but they got it. They lost Jonathan Allen for the year. So yeah, there's flaws with that personnel, and it will show. Jared Goff throws the ball into the dirt on second and nine. Already we're in 3rd and long. Already. Think they're okay with Brian Robinson and Eckler. They're okay, but that's the thing. Think about the word you just said. It's okay. It's not ideal, especially when you think about it. Their competitors are Detroit and Philly, and look at the gap in running games between them and those two teams. And even let's say you could throw in San Francisco. Like the thing about the NFC is that right now the NFC is the land of great rushing attacks at the top, at least. Oh, have you guys seen the highlight, by the way, of George Pickens after Russell Wilson threw a pick? It's actually pretty hilarious. Oh, shit. What a play from Detroit. Swing pass to Gibbs. Gibbs gets about 40 yards. The play was drawn up to damn near get Penny Sewell ahead of him as an escort, a police escort, just carrying him up the field. Yes, another INT, please. This is what we need. Toss left to Gibbs. Texans defense rallies and tackles him at the line of scrimmage. Now let me see what these rushing stats look like. because I feel like they've done a. I feel like the Lions have got some production throwing to their backs, but not handing them to the backs. Yeah, Lions rushing attack. The running backs have 19 rushes for 53 yards. The rushing attack of the Lions has been slapped. It's the fact that Gibbs has like almost 40 yards in the air. And actually, that's it. Maybe it's 80 though. Maybe this is not up to date after the last pass. Someone said there isn't anything happening in Pickens' mind except NBA. Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. Nah, this is amazing. Bro, I love the internet. 3rd and 7 for the Lions. George Pickens. NBA X CTE. You should put that in his bio. Oh my God. They handed it off on 3rd and 7 trying to be cheeky and they got clamped up. Lions running backs are up to 20 carries for 54 yards. The Lions rushing attack has been completely shut down today. First time this year. I've never seen the Lions rushing attack looking like this. Bro, they do this though. The Lions love doing this shit. Against the Niners in the playoffs, they ran the ball on 3rd and 10 with Gibbs and they got the first down. Bro, they do this shit. They love running and obvious passing downs, and it works more often than it doesn't. But it's just one of those things where when it doesn't work, it looks horrible, and that looked absolutely horrible. But also the way Goff is throwing picks, man, do you blame them? Do you blame? It's kind of the position that that he's put them in. This comment is still killing me though, man. Yo, get George Pickens on the Memphis Grizzlies right now. That's what we need. This is a valid point, though. Both of these are valid points. You're down 13 and your ground game is not rolling. Two contextual factors that should have got the Lions to understand that they can't do it now. Both very good points. Stroud drops back. Oh my God. When I saw the ball leave his hand, I'm like, this is going to get picked. Thank God it didn't. And it wasn't close to getting picked. I don't know. I just didn't get good vibes from that pass attempt. Maybe I'm just traumatized after today, though. Might just be that. Second and 10. I don't know. I feel like they're probably going to run the ball here. Just get to the end of the third quarter. Get themselves it's a wide receiver screen, which is basically a running play, and Robert Woods gets about a yard. So that's the end of the third quarter. We're going to transition to the fourth quarter here. Just pray for no Coleridge picks. No Coleridge picks in the fourth quarter, please. Let's talk about some games. Vikings, Jaguars. Okay, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but the Jaguars are such a funny team in the fact that for 2 weeks in a row now, they've found a way to only lose by one score in games that they've been outgained by like over 250 yards at some point. They find a way to make like complete ass whoopings look respectable. And that's such a funny trait. I've never seen a team with that distinct thing, but like they're a mess. It's obviously clearly just about to fall apart, that whole situation. The coaching staff is going to get completely cleaned out. Management, probably the same thing. Basically everybody but the quarterback, because you can't. You're going to see a fresh slate for next year. On the Viking side of things, I think Darnold threw 3 picks. I think that's what I saw. Let me see. Yeah, Darnold threw 3 picks, no touchdowns. Surfa, I saw Aaron Jones get hurt. Is he okay? I missed what happened with that one. But seemed like a functional passing game. Seems like they're passing game was functional aside from the 3 picks. The Jags defense is wild card caliber. The issue is their offense is hot garbage. He'll be back. Okay, that's solid. I hear what you're saying about their defense, bro. I hear what you're saying because there was a point against the Eagles where the offense had like 30 yards and the Eagles offense had like maybe like 250. But like you can clearly see that the Jags defense was just like they were okay for a little bit. Hold on. My satellite signal's going out. Nah, hold up. Is my internet okay? Anyways, we're just gonna keep vibing until something goes down. Yeah, but you can tell that the Jaguars defense, like they had some pieces. The Eagles just were rolling at some point. But yeah, in the second half, the Jaguars defense figured it out. Jaguars offense is just a mess though, man. Yeah, okay, my TV's back, so I'm straight. It's funny because they have pieces. They have ETN, they have Brian Thomas. They traded away their left tackle, oddly enough, to Minnesota. But my biggest issue with Jacksonville for the last couple of years has been the fact that they basically just brought back the same offense for 3 years in a row. Minimal changes. Swap out Calvin Ridley for maybe Gabe Davis and then add Brian Thomas. But other than that, more or less the same offense, and that's a problem in the NFL. You get figured out when you don't present major changes, or at least like not major, but like respectable changes. And the Jaguars kind of just showed up as the same team over and over again, and they're paying for that now. This offense has no options a lot of the time. But 3rd and 9, we're gonna watch this third down play for Houston. CJ Stroud drops back and flirts with throwing another pick there. Throws it at Brian Branch, too, of all people. Houston's going to punt. Oh, my God. The ending of this game is going to piss me off. But, yeah. Jaguars suck, man. Who cares about them? On the Viking side of things, yeah, Sam Darnold, 3 picks is too much. All those yards and only 4 field goals is not good enough. And I think they have a good matchup next week, so they might get rolling again next week. But, yeah, you just want to see better from their offense. They play the Titans, the Bears. Okay. They're going to get some get-right games there. Their offense should get back to business. What's the next game? Oh, shit. Next game would be Patriots-Bears. Are we going to commercial? Say less. Okay, Patriots-Bears. I mentioned this when Leon was here before, but the Patriots, as bad as they are, they're the Grim Reapers because they end seasons. They buried the Jets season. They sent them into crisis. They buried the Bears season here, sent them into crisis. They kind of sent the Bengals into crisis after week 1 as well. The Patriots, as bad of a team as they are, and as much tanking as they're doing, quietly, they're the Grim Reaper meme going door to door. They fucked some teams up. They sent some teams into just complete head loss and meltdown. And they're having a pretty fun tank, right? Like their season is not boring. But yeah, in this game, Caleb Williams, the way you've been outplayed by the 2nd and 3rd overall picks, the way you've lost both those games, it's really disappointing stuff. I have a Bears fan, right? A Bears fan friend who, a lot of the times people give the Bears shit for not taking Mahomes, right? And his thing that he always used to say is that like that's not that big of a deal because the Bears don't develop quarterbacks well, and Mahomes was a boom or bust prospect. So the hold up, 2nd and 10. Let's just watch this play. Goff in the shotgun, drops back. Pocket is clean, finds Amon-Ra. Okay, shit, 3rd down is short. But yeah, so this is the thing, right? So his whole take was always like, if we got Mahomes, we would have fucked him up because we would have not have developed him, and that just wouldn't have gone good. So it's like we didn't pass on the GOAT, so we would have never got that. And I was always like, fair enough, that makes sense, right? But then when I saw that they were going to get Caleb Williams, I was like, oh shit, we're actually going to see this theory tested. Not exactly, but this is kind of it. They're in a similar pocket where they have a quarterback with Mahomes-like traits. He's not Mahomes, but he has some of the basic traits. And we're going to see what they do with it. And bro, it looks bad. I'll say this, when it comes to my outlook for Caleb Williams in his career, I still don't feel that bad about his career because of him. I still think he's fine. I think his issue is the fact that he's on the Bears. I think the Bears are the problem, and if things don't work out for Caleb, it's because of where he ended up. Um, they're my bigger concern for his out future than even just him on his own. That's a shit franchise when it comes to developing quarterbacks and establishing offenses. They fired their last offensive coordinator, and this one looks ass too. They're gonna clear out their whole coaching staff, and if they hire another coach, you're talking about at least 2 more years. If they get the next hire wrong, that's 3 years of bad coaching for Caleb Williams to start his career. That is horrible. That is horrible, and it's starting. The process is starting. It's not too late, but it will be in a couple years. So this coaching hire, damn near they need to let Caleb Williams do the hire. Not actually, but like it's that important for that man's career. This is a good point, bro. This is a good point because they kind of need a free agent. I think going into the season with just McCarthy and no competition is a risk. I think they need a free agent, but Darnold is probably going to command too much money. General says, I mean, with the Vikings, there's still JJ McCarthy, and who knows with the Falcons how Penix works out. Yeah, Goff takes a shot here from Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett, king of the 15-yard penalty, man. But shout out to him for all his efforts during the Super Bowl. Yo, we just got a tornado warning. It's lit. All right, so if I get scooped into the sky during this live stream, it was real. We had a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. We got a running back screen to David Montgomery. I mean, the tornado warning did say to go to, yeah, 100%. The tornado warning did say to go to a basement. Fortunately, I am in the basement, so all is well. No way, bro. Now they're putting the tornado warning on the TV screen, man. Fuck my well-being. I just want to watch football. You think I watch the CTE sport because I care about well-being? All right, well, I don't know what's happening right now after that David Montgomery run, but I guess we can still talk about the quarterback position. Yes, it's Toronto. There's a tornado warning in Toronto right now. Yo, come on, dog. Like, I appreciate you, Environment Canada, but also like put the game back on. I think the game will be out soon. But quarterback situations. The Bears is horrible, and potentially the Patriots is good. They're having a very fun tank, and the Bears are not. Amon-Ra St. Brown TD. Damn. Okay, the game is back. The game is back. The connection is fine. We're good. We're good. Patriots are having a fun tank. The Bears are at a franchise crossroads. If they don't get the next higher route, they're actually fucked for a long time. And at times like this, you have to look at the Keenan Allen trade and just be like, that trade, even though it was good at the time, it's not going to age well. Because you're talking about having a really old receiver that's not really helped you in year one. The odds of him helping you next year are going to drop, right? And then the odds of him being helpful the year afterwards are going to drop even more. You're out here wasting resources on wide receiver threes when you have no offensive line, bro. That GM confuses me. Yes, that Keenan Allen trade is aging horribly. The DeAndre Swift signing, like, I mean, I hope it would look better with offensive linemen, but again, with a running back, every year that goes by, the chances drop of it working. Thanks for that 5th rounder, Bears. Oh yeah, you're a Chargers fan. Yeah, we have a Chargers fan correspondent now with the channel. It's lit. Saint Brown isn't even a real saint, by the way. Oh shit, that's crazy. But I mean, I guess the Amon Ra in his name does a lot of the heavy lifting. Um, I guess Sun God helps balance out the fact that his last name is a fraudulent saint. I'm only accepting a Lions win with another TD. David Montgomery TD. I need a Laporta TD. Yeah, I need a Laporta TD. This is true, man. But here's the problem: is that Equanimous is in the family too, right? Like bro, every family has a Leangelo. That's the problem. Every family has a Leangelo. Every family has a Cooper Manning. Amon-Ra was created by Hydra, just like Winter Soldier. Oh, also, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Leangelo's beef with Cameron is the funniest thing in the world. How does that even happen? But Cameron, the way Cameron was talking to Leangelo was so funny and so disrespectful. Why would you shit talk a 50-year-old man from the shit talking era in a shit talking part of the world? Last person to shit talk, if I haven't made myself clear already. His dad openly said it on his pod. I hear it though. I was talking to this guy at my work a few years ago about, like, like he was hearing about how much NBA players were making. I was like, bro, you just need to find some a woman that's like 6'7" or something, and then just like start project not Wemby, because you can't do that. Stroud is wilding. Thank God that was a completion. Yo, don't lose this ball. Oh my God, I thought Anzalone was gonna rip the ball out of Schultz's hands. I just told him, I was like, bro, you need to, you work on an NBA baby then. And he was just like, man, I'm not really attracted to like 6'7". I was like, well, are you attracted to 500 million? Fuck all that 6'7" shit. Are you attracted to 500 million? You saw Speed race Noah Lyles? I heard Speed won. That's all I heard. I didn't see the race though. First and 10. Mixon. Second and long. Texans have been finding themselves in a lot of second and longs and third and longs. That part of this game has not been fun as somebody rooting for their downfall. I mean, rooting for the Lions' downfall. First down, bro. Just what was I talking about? Second and longs are a problem, and you keep making it worse. I gave up on this game the second Goff threw 5 picks. The problem is that the Lions didn't give up on this game. That's what I need. Zadarius Smith out here as an assistant coach. Play action, Stroud. Eyes downfield, scrambles, picks up the 5 yards. Hey, Jack Campbell pushed Mixon onto Stroud. Give me a roughing the passer. Unnecessary. Oh, Stroud is limping. Coleridge is limping. Fuck. How are you liking our tanking strategy? I love it. I love it. I'm thrilled. We're actually having such a good tank. We're looking promising. We're playing all these good teams tough, but we're getting the L's. It's a sensational tank. Okay, come on, Coleridge. Come on, Coleridge. Come on, Coleridge. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10. Tank Dell is down there somewhere. Gets the ball at the shotgun. The pass rush gets home. Fuck my life. He's scrambling. Oh my God. He ran right into the offensive tackle's arms. Oh my God. He fumbled. Motherfucking Coleridge, man. Bro, he ran into that offensive tackle's arms like long lost lovers, you know? Like this was like a movie. Like when somebody run like the girl runs into the guy's arms after getting off of a train when they haven't seen each other for like 7 months. Bro, and then he handed him the ball like a gift to that long lost lover, like, you know? What kind of shit was that, man? Why was the offensive lineman just standing there like, guys, I got beat on this play, so I'm just going to stand here. Move! Move! Dog, something is happening. At the very minimum, you can just move. Bro just was watching CJ Stroud running right at him. What the game is not real. I just need one more pick. What's the interception record? It's too late to set it, I'm sure. Most interceptions thrown NFL game. Oh, it's 8. Jim Hardy. What do you think of Shaq's analysis as to why NBA games viewership is down to lots of threes? I missed the analysis. Is there any more depth to it? Okay, we can recap some of the remaining games. Titans, Chargers. Me and General were talking about this game before. Kind of gonna be restating themes here, but hard to gauge the Chargers too much because a lot of their wins are against teams that aren't really respectable tests. The Titans are shit. Will Levis is a terrorist. That being said, I don't think he did that much terroristic stuff in this game. But yeah, these games aren't really great gauges for a team like the Chargers. We know that they're going to handle business against good teams. Question is how do they fare against some of the better teams? There's a couple other things in this game. Yeah, so Will Levis didn't turn the ball over, threw 2 touchdowns, decent completion percentage. Wasn't even that bad of a game. But yeah, for the Chargers, Herbert was efficient, and then what did I see? There was something. Gus Edwards, more rushing yards than Dobbins. That one was interesting. Did not expect that. But yeah, Bengals Chargers next week. That one should be interesting. Did you talk about the Chiefs? Yeah, we talked about them. Do you want to go over that again? Because we can do it. What are your thoughts on the game today, bro? A resident Chiefs fan. Jahmyr Gibbs gets the ball and gets 20 yards immediately. Bro, we were hot ass. I love the honesty because it's true. In fact, Mahomes been hot ass all year. It's true. Yo, that's definitely the case. But bro, time to shine as Gibbs gets like 20 more yards. Yeah, I have a question of like, how would you compare this to how they looked last year? Because they looked like a mess last year too. Would you say it's worse? Is it similar? Is it better? Like, how would you compare it to last year? No way, this is a real stat. This is crazy. That is that's absurd. I would have never guessed. Probably a little better because of record. Nah, fuck the record. I'm talking just playing, like just form. Oh, okay. Today, that makes sense. That helps a little bit because that was jarring to read otherwise. Second and 4 for the Lions. Toss to Gibbs. This time the Texans defense is ready for that shit. And they drive him back to like the 42. I don't know where the forward progress is going to be set. Yo, they're winning for now, but God willing, they'll blow the game at the end. I think Mahomes is playing worse, but the defense is better. So this is my thing. Like where they're at is comparable to where they were last year. So I'm not accepting that the way they're playing is a reason to think that they're not Super Bowl contenders. They're definitely Super Bowl contenders. And when it comes to the rest of the teams, like everybody else has demonstrated flaws. Like the Detroit Lions are the only team that you could say that have like they don't have glaring flaws, but like Goff just threw 5 picks right now, so anything is possible. Third and 11, Goff steps back, pass rusher in his face, he throws an incompletion. Third and 11 at the 40. Surely Dan Campbell is not wild enough to go for it on fourth down here, right? They got to kick this field goal. Yo, I got the Lions kicker in fantasy. Let's go. Let's go. 50-yard kick. Give me these 5 points. Stroud can win the game on the next drive. Oh hell no! I do not believe in Darko. Not contenders for sure, but Pacheco back, maybe got Hollywood back as well. 58 yards from Bates. Bates puts it up and puts it through. Squeaks it just inside the upright. Let me see how these 5 points look like. Let me see how the 5 points have the scoreboard looking in fantasy. I am up 7.7, and then tomorrow the guy will have Jonnu Smith playing, and Mixon has a chance to extend my lead. So if Mixon can just get me another point, another couple points, I'm straight. It will be if Mixon can carry the Texans on a drive here and get a touchdown, and like that wins them the game, I'm sweet. Why does Jimmy get injured and never play when we face the Timberwolves? Couldn't tell you, bro. I couldn't tell you. Okay, hold up. Let's hit these last couple recaps. Oh, last one. Jets Cardinals. Okay, yeah, Jets season is over. Offensive line got Rodgers harassed. Bro, Devontae on a team this bad down the stretch is gonna look hilarious. Especially since they traded for him. But like, bro, the way the Jets have been so aggressive about getting better and failing is so funny, man. Like, you traded for Devontae midseason, you paid Reddick midseason to get him back, you fired the coach, and all of them are not gonna help. I think a pretty obvious thing you can get from this game is that like Robert Saleh was holding the defense together. This defense is shit. They gave up like 17 points a game under Saleh, and they're giving up, I think now, like 29 points a game under Albrecht. The Jets deserve absolutely nothing less, bro. They are a mess. This is a miserable situation. And if they're on prime time for the rest of the year, flex them immediately. Them and the Cowboys. Wrap that shit up. It's done. Get them off prime time right now. On the Cardinals side of things, man, the Cardinals, their coaches are doing such a good job of coaching up this team, because I still maintain this team is nothing special on paper. On paper, I mean, not to say that they're anything special, like generally, right? They're high, but like, man, you look at their roster, there's not a whole lot there, man. Their teams, or like their coaching staff is so interesting because they called for like offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator that are like 29 and 35. But they just took like the highest potential coaching prospects and said, fuck it, we're rebuilding. It doesn't matter. And bro, I just think those two young coaches are getting absolutely the most that they can out of this personnel. Kyler is playing amazing football. This is probably the best he's played. He's had players like DeAndre Hopkins and not looked as good. Man, Kyler, that's amazing. What he's doing, it's really impressive, especially off an ACL tear. We'll see if they win the division, man. That division is, I don't know if that division can produce two playoff teams. So I think them, the Niners and the Rams, are in pretty intense competition. Mixon picks up 4 yards. Pretty intense competition, but we'll see how it goes. Why do teams not hire coaches midseason and just go for interims? Okay, I think the issue with hiring brand new coaches is that in football, it takes so much, like, installing plays. Like, basically, you're never going to have a training camp in the middle of the year. So it would be really different for a new coach to come in and do different things. The new coach would have to come in and still operate within the boundaries of whatever foundation the last coach has left. Oh my God, CJ Stroud, man, the way he's throwing this ball just scares the shit out of me. So, like, if they have to operate within the framework of what the last coaches were doing, you kind of just may as well roll with an interim anyways. It's just the nature of football. I was talking about this with my dad earlier today, actually. Like, there's not really like major mid-season hires. Like, no, like like, for example, the Jets wouldn't fire their coach and then go get Bill Belichick mid-season, because Belichick can't come in and all of a sudden start installing new plays and drastically change things up. That would never work. Belichick would have to come in and again operate within the framework of what Robert Saleh was doing. Stroud, quick look, slant to Mechie. Mechie comes up big again. Coleridge to Mechie. Mechie, bro, the team has a thing. You got to learn it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Time to shine. You're right. That's why that owner is stupid. The owner single-handedly made the call. That's the news, is that he independently decided to make that call, and he made the wrong thing. He made the wrong move. Actually, the thing is, the only reason to fire a coach in the middle of the year is if they've completely lost the locker room, and you would benefit from at least just removing them and having an interim that the team might buy into. That's the only reason to fire a coach in the NFL mid-year. You may as well just let them finish it out. Like, unless there's some major beefs or something, like, just let it run. Do you believe it was political? No, but bro, so what happened is that the Jets lost in London, and apparently the Jets owner is like he's the NFL's ambassador to London, and he's like pretty well connected in London. And apparently, bro, he was just embarrassed to see his team lose in front of all his London homies, and he just was like, "Fuck it," and he just rage fired the coach. That's my understanding of what happened. Big conversion to Tank Dell there, right in front of Brian Branch, leaving him pissed the hell off. And then yeah, a lot of the people in the chat are talking about Rodgers having a part to do with it. That doesn't surprise me either. Hand off to Mixon. Picks up another 5 yards. Clock keeps running. No timeouts have been used thus far. So, okay, from a clock management standpoint, there are 4 stoppages in the clock. There's presumably 2 more plays in this set of downs. And if they get the first down, there's at least 3 more plays. So, best case scenario, if Detroit gives up this first down here, they could get the ball back with 1:20 to go. But basically, 2 first downs could ice the game for Houston and get them a last-second kick. We'll see if they can run Joe Mixon to victory. Hand off to Mixon. The hole was there, but it closed pretty quickly. 2 yards on second down, 3rd and 4 coming up. No timeouts used, but we get to the 2-minute warning. Rodgers has no more excuses. Absolutely. Rodgers has run out of excuses. He's being catered to completely, and it's your turn to make do on your side of things, right? The Jets have done what they can to give you what you want. You got to make it right now. Anthony Davis to the locker room. Okay. It's a 2-point game. I see the Lakers have the lead. Yeah, I think next season is going to be the last dance, and then he's out of here. Me too, man. Me too. Free Garrett Wilson. Free Garrett Wilson of the shackles of that offense. But yeah, huge 3rd and 4 here, people. The implications of Houston not getting it and not running the clock is huge, right? Imagine if they don't get this 4th and 4, 3 timeouts for Detroit, the clock stops, and then they have to kick what would be what? How is the play still stuck here? Tackled at the 40, right? So then they would have to attempt a 58-yarder. The risk there is crazy because then you missed a 58-yarder. Detroit gets the ball at basically the halfway mark with 3 timeouts and 1:45 to go. So if you're Houston, I actually don't think you're in 3-down territory. I think you're in 4-down territory. The risk of missing a kick is too crazy. And your kicker be missing sometimes. He wasn't really part of the Jets offense, but I'm so at Mike Williams free as well. Yeah, it's true, bro. Mike Williams did his job today too, game-winning touchdown. And what did he do it on? A vertical route down the field, which that's his bread and butter. 3rd and 4. Play of the game so far. Stroud in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Lions bring 5. Oh my God. Pressure got home a little bit, collapsed the pocket. Stroud threw it into a crowd, and it didn't come close to being completed. So here's the situation I was just talking about, people. They didn't get the first down. They didn't run the clock. 156. Detroit has 3 timeouts. If they attempt a field goal from 58 and don't make it, Detroit gets the easiest path to a win. You really have to gauge how comfortable you are here with attempting a 58-yard kick. Because if you're not comfortable with that, you're going to have real problems if you miss. I feel like you... Oh, they're attempting the field goal. I'm so fucking nervous. Career long is 59. Career long is 59, and he's kicking from 58. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. John Christian Fairbairn. JCK from 58. From the logo. Yo, guys, game management is so important, guys. I talked us all through the situation here and how detrimental of a situation this was. This is the single worst timeline. You know how, like, in that Avengers movie, I think it was Doctor Strange, that was so occupied with the timelines? This was the shittiest timeline. You had to do what you could to avoid this timeline. Go for it on 4th down, run the clock on 3rd down. I don't know, man. Do something to avoid this shit. I criticized Fairbairn's decision making as it pertains to his name. I don't trust that guy personally. So I didn't love the idea of kicking that field goal. I didn't love that idea. I understand your offense hasn't been rolling, so I think it might be... I can understand somebody being hesitant to go for it with their offense, but it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, the upside to... So here's the thing, right? Let's look about the upsides of the two timelines. The upside to making the field goal is you go up 3, but Detroit gets the ball back with 2 timeouts and 1:45 to go. That's not that great of an upside. That's not that great of an upside. The upside of going for it on 4th down and succeeding is you get to run at least all of Detroit's timeouts off the board, and you get to run 40 seconds. And potentially with another 1st down, you could put yourself in a position where you kick like a 30-yarder at the last second. The upsides that come along with going for it on 4th down far outweigh the upsides of kicking the field goal. And that's how I think about these things. You have to look at every single timeline. And Houston just continued to put themselves in the worst timelines, and that's poor game management. Man, fuck John Christian. I bet he's not... You know, No, fuck that guy. I think that's because of his name. Time for another Goff pick. Hope so, man. I hope so. Third and 6. Far out of field goal range. Houston's defense with a chance to redeem their kicker. Jared Goff in the shotgun. Gibbs in the backfield. Gibbs splits out to the left. Oh my god, he found Amon-Ra. Oh my god, this is over. Bates for the win. I can't lie. The fact that Houston picked off Goff 5 times and are still going to lose, they may have made an enemy for at least this year. They may have made an enemy. No way D'Amico Ryan's defensive scheme had Amon-Ra one-on-one with a linebacker with the game on the line, man. Yeah, they made an enemy. They made an enemy. Aziz Al-Sha'ir in man-to-man coverage on Amon-Ra with the game on the line. What type of terrorism is this? This is one of the games of all time. For you, as a neutral, maybe. As people who had a vested interest in Detroit losing, this has not been a vibe. The Texans dead-ass sold. Yo, I actually have to cheer for my fantasy kicker to miss. This is not fun. Oh, okay. This is literally one of the games of all time. I hear it. I hear it. Come on, Jared Goff. We need something. Fumble the snap. Handoff. Stuffed at the 35. Momentum will carry him forward to the 32. So it's a 50-yard kick from here. And they're probably going to let the clock run, call a timeout with like 4 seconds, and do the kick from here. So Bates from 50 for 5 more fantasy points for me, which will be welcomed. But at what cost, man? At what cost? This is Tank Dell's fault when he didn't throw. This is Coleridge's fault. This is Coleridge's fault for sure. I don't fuck with Coleridge right now. 4 seconds to go. Detroit with the last kick. We either get overtime or a Detroit win. A kicker wearing 39, man. We're losing recipes. Since when do kickers wear 39? Kickers out here with a fullback number, man. Fuck my life. The game is indeed gone, Sir Fel. Well, looks like they marked him at the 34. So this kick is from 52, last play of the game, for the win. Jake Bates or Jesse Bates or Jeremy Bates, one of the J names, plus Bates puts it up. Bro, no way. He made this kick the same way. Yeah, he put it right inside the goalpost again. Yo, this guy loves barely making kicks. Wow. Wow. This guy said run it back. He hit loop on that first field goal. The way I would have shit myself if I was him during both those kicks. All right, let's see his face when it was going up. Yo. This guy's a piece of shit. This guy's banking field goals in, no Cody Parkey. But shit, man. Shit. What else is there to say other than shit? Goddamn. 19 unanswered points. Yeah, yo, send the Texans. Oh my god. If they were just in a worse division, bro, they're out of here. Okay. Did we learn anything about Detroit today? I feel like what I learned is that like they should be losing a divisional game. Green Bay or Minnesota is going to catch them. This is true. This is true as well. Both these things are true. But yeah, I think what I learned about Detroit is that they're going to lose a game to a divisional opponent, but I don't know if they even play enough teams for them to lose multiple games. Who are their opponents? They play the Jags, the Colts, and the Bears next. Fuck off. Okay, they play the Bills and the Niners. You know what? Hopefully that stretch at the end is tough. Anyways, that's the end of this stream, people. Shout out to everybody that's tapped in. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've been here for almost 3.5 hours. Show love because, you know, it's been a great stream. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. Content on YouTube greatly benefits from you engaging with it. So comments, likes, subscriptions, chats, thumbs up, thumbs down, all that shit helps. So if you want to help support what's going on here, that's the best way for you to do it. The content is free, but I accept payment in the form of engagement. So before you guys head out, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I just hit 130 subs during this stream, so that's a little bit of a milestone. The journey to 140 begins, and if you want to help that out, hit that subscribe button, people. With that being said, I'll be back on Tuesday for the playoff landscaping stream. We'll sort out how every team's week 10 may have impacted how I look at their playoff odds, and then we'll be back on Thursday for Commanders Eagles. And I'll see you guys then, people. Peace. I'll be back on Tuesday.